With high-profile events comes stepped-up security. Cobb County officials say they are ready as they prepare to welcome baseball fans for the 2025 All-Star Game at Truist Park.
Thousands of fans are expected to descend on Truist Park in the Battery for the All-Star Game and the festivities. Cobb County Public Safety Director Mike Register says they hold regular meetings with law enforcement partners from the FAA to the FBI.
As far as police and law enforcement presence, it'll be a combination of local, state, and federal. And yes, we have increased our presence here.
He says the county's real-time crime center and an on-scene operations center will serve as hubs for agencies to work together. Officials say the goal is to have a fun and safe All-Star Game. At Truist Park, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
An appeals court blocks the FTC's efforts to simplify the click-to-cancel rule, sending their progress right back to the beginning. Andrew Dimbert has more.
The rule announced during the Biden administration would have required businesses to make it easier for consumers to cancel subscriptions, memberships, and free trials, but the court says the FTC failed to conduct a required analysis on the rule's impact.
In fact, the court said the FTC made a procedural error in their related cost analysis. The rule was set to go into effect on Monday. The Atlanta Police Foundation is offering big bucks to lure veteran officers into the ranks of the Atlanta Police Department.
Private funds to cover the bonuses are coming from donors and Atlanta business community leaders. That's according to Support Programs Director Curtis Lean Bass.
$10,000 for our lateral hires because we recognize that they're going to bring immediate value. That's someone that has had at least 2 years of experience.
The program is part of the Foundation's Build a Force initiative to attract experienced officers, improve officer retention, and boost public safety. Some applicants can also get housing assistance and other support. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Some Ritz cracker sandwiches are being recalled. The 8-pack, 20-pack, and 40-pack cartons of Ritz peanut butter cracker sandwiches were incorrectly labeled and could lead to allergic reactions. The individually wrapped packs may be labeled as cheese instead of peanut butter. Now, the recalled cartons have best when used by dates of November 1st through the 9th, 2025, and January 2nd through the 22nd, 2026. A sanitation worker strike by union members at Republic Services is impacting Alpharetta residents.
The middle of summer is not an ideal time for overflowing trash bins, but City Administrator Chris Lagerbloom says they're hoping the impact is minimal.
In the short term, we might see just some slow pickups.
He says Alpharetta residents should continue taking out the trash on normal pickup days and wait for crews to pick it up. No code enforcement action will be taken for trash bins left out longer than usual.
We will have some flexibility with that while we figure out the pickup schedule.
He says Republic is still providing service. Its union members say they'll strike until they get a fair contract. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It is 3:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is checking that afternoon drive.
Travel advisory continues out of Duluth into Norcross. Cleanup 85 southbound Indian Trail Road exit 101. 2 to 3 right lanes are knocked out. You're slow almost back to Lawrenceville Swanee Road. Use Buford Highway. Northbound, they're blocking all lanes briefly to get trouble off to the right. 85 northbound at Jimmy Carter Boulevard exit 99. Just found a new stall in the center lane. 285 eastbound, the interloop in Dunwoody at Chamblee Dunwoody Road exit 30. Crash just cleared on the West Freeway 20 eastbound Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epwords. Partly cloudy today, hot and humid, high 95. A few pop-up showers through the afternoon.
Next news at 3:30 on 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, hour one of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
We are making history today, Eric Von Hessler. Are you ready? We are making history here.
Yes.
Today is the shortest day in recorded history.
Oh, boy.
The shortest day. It is.
I could tell.
We warned.
I do. People do, right?
We warned people that this was coming. It's like microseconds shorter than it's ever been before.
Some scientists say it could be anywhere from 1.3 to 1.6 milliseconds shorter
oh my goodness.
than the average day.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, basically what we're trying to tell you is be very, very frightened. I don't know.
Be very afraid.
Like I love news. It's, you know, a lot of stations. Is somebody using it now? I don't know. News you can use. Right? This is definitely news you can't use. There's nothing. There's nothing that you can do.
We can blame the moon.
You could blame the moon if you'd like, but you know, I like to take responsibility for things. I don't like to blame inanimate objects 286,000 miles away. I'd like to own it myself. But then again, I guess that's why I'm a leader, right?
Yeah, leaders don't blame other people.
I don't blame like the moon.
But it is the moon's fault.
I will tell you this, I'm not a fan of Venus, but we don't want to get into that right now.
Listen,
you don't like women?
Venus.
Huh?
You don't like women?
Why is Venus women?
Well, because it is.
It's hot. Because somebody looked up there and said, oh, you're female and Mars is red, so it's a warrior, and you're buying that right now?
Yes.
My anger at Venus has nothing to do with its gender. Thank you. Or first of all, we don't know how Venus identifies, right, Autumn? We don't know how Venus identifies.
No.
So for us to refer to Venus as a female kind of thing is...
I mean, she's hot and cold, so...
She is hotter than cold.
She's hotter. She's very, very hot or very, very cold.
Is she? I think she's always hot.
Sometimes it's
No,
Mars is
so.
cold on one. Mars is cold
really?
and hot.
Venus. Hold on, let me look at the weather.
Venus is
yeah, what's the Venus forecast?
Venus is
Christina Edwards
is the greenhouse effect,
Venus,
right?
Texas came up.
Yeah, I think it's a greenhouse effect
My
going
bad.
on. It's the whole.
Venus is covered by a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide and clouds
yeah.
made of sulfuric acid.
So you just come on this show and just start spreading lies. Is this
if
your
Venus
idea?
ever had any oceans, they dried up long ago. 847 degrees Fahrenheit.
I like
I'm
the way-
Christina Edwards.
Thank you, Christina.
Also, it's called Venus because it's named after the Roman goddess of love, Venus.
Yeah, Eric.
I know that. That's why earlier,
you?
if you would have noticed, I said, "Why are you sticking to this old concept?"
Well-
because somebody looked in the sky and said that one's female and that one's red.
Why do we
like
use
a
English?
Warrior.
Why do we use English when it's derivative of Latin?
Because things evolve and change.
It's derivative of Greek, German.
Oh, don't get yourself deeper. You've already
German.
opened.
It's
You've
German.
opened the
We
show.
speak American here on the
The
Von Hassler
letter-
Doctrine.
The letters are from Latin.
Can we just say that as you, ladies and gentlemen, as you can,
fatty.
as you can hear right now, these people know nothing. Take no advice from these people whatsoever. I know you're used to turning on
You're
the
the only
radio.
one that's allowed to make mistakes.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the one who's blabbing for 8 billion hours a week. I mean,
Infallible.
you
Maybe
guys,
I've been blabbing all day.
you guys are
I don't know
supposed
what
to
my
be
life is.
you're like comedy snipers. You're just like in the trees,
Chirpers.
waiting for your moment, and boom, and
Comedy
you can't-
snipers. I'll
you
write
can't-
that down.
That's how I used to think of myself in the old show. I'm in the trees. I'm waiting. Okay, there's one. Got it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't focus.
Well, listen, we all had that problem back then. Now I am focused. And what I'm focused on is just trying to talk enough that Tim and Autumn don't spread lies and disinformation.
Dirt
And then-
was invented by the moon man.
Can you back that up with a Wikipedia post?
It ain't on Wikipedia. That's what they want you to not
They don't
know.
want. They don't want. That's what they want you to not know.
Exactly.
Okay. I think
Is that the same as that's what they don't want you to know? That's what they want you to not
Oh,
know.
here she is.
Here we go again.
Over-explaining
Here
it.
we go.
What
Here we
did
go.
you mean by
Hey,
that?
Hey, we did the research, and it turns out Autumn's ahead of the game. People love like when radio shows just go down a giant rabbit hole.
Please,
It's just-
you guys do that
yeah.
all the time with your 70s TV show nonsense.
Oh,
Is that person still alive? I'm
like
old.
we're the only people. Look at this. Can you believe the way that she's speaking to the men on this panel?
I
Can
cannot.
You, can you believe that?
Especially a big Columbo fan like her.
You know, listen, don't get her started or me.
Autumn, that's an interesting observation.
See, you're appreciated for all of your observations.
That one guy.
Yeah, well, you got one. You listen, that's how.
I got one guy.
That's
I
how.
speak for thousands.
Dang, Eric, lighten up, buddy.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
Dang.
Come
Undo
on.
your belt a little.
Hey, live a
Listen
little
up,
bit.
Them jockeys.
Yeah.
I think that guy's right.
Take that plug out.
I got it. All right, look.
Oh, it's the
I mean,
weekend.
unplug your
Look,
computer.
I have a personal conversation with you about things that make me happy, and now all of a sudden, I thought we agreed you weren't going to let everybody know.
Well, you know how things happen here on the show. Things spill out from the pre-show.
Well, I hope that doesn't spill out.
Same here. You shouldn't have had sloppy joes last night.
Dang, Eric, lighten up, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I know. We all. Hey, how about you? He doesn't sound like he's that lighthearted.
Dang, Eric, lighten up, buddy.
That sound like a guy who's giggling all day long?
He's in a lawn chair, beer in his hand, and a cigar in the other.
Hey, yeah.
I know.
Come on. Lighten up. The only way I'm going to lighten up is after I'm gone. I don't mean from the planet. I just mean from radio. That's what I'm going to lighten
He'll
up.
illuminate, glow.
Yeah, no, I'll lighten up. I'll just be like, okay, no prep. I don't have to know what's going on in the world. I recognize now who I am. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about all the things that everybody cares about. But, I can't show up every day not having read the news or knowing what the hell is going on. So I constantly have to, like this thing. Like, yes, the more ridiculous things get, I just think to myself, what is the sense of doing jokes? What is the sense? I mean, everything is so just absurd at this point that you just feel like a moron trying to make a joke out of it. I mean, do people even remember that cabinet meetings were never 3-hour television shows before, or however long that thing went on?
I thought I was watching HGTV. That's what I thought I was watching.
Yeah, we'll get to the particulars in a second. But I mean, it used to be, I think, with every administration, including his first, I think, you have a cabinet meeting is supposed to be where, you get stuff done. And you report to the president, and then there's advice, and the president, that's the whole idea. The whole cabinet's there. Here's a subject. This is the secretary of whatever. They give a presentation. There's some advice. And the president's supposed to be able to walk away from a cabinet meeting not only knowing what the most pressing issues are, but he's been given 2 or 3 solutions, potential ways to solve the problem, and they're supposed to stew on it. And the way it's always been is, the press comes in. I don't know about always. I don't know if this goes all the way back to the Benjamin Harrison administration, but in modern times, the press is invited in for the first 10 minutes or so of a cabinet meeting. They ask questions, and then it's like, bye-bye press, close the doors. Now we get down to real business. This president I realize, has turned the cabinet meeting into The Apprentice. Here I am. I'm in the middle. Please me. Please me, or you're fired.
Let me hear your ideas.
And so, hey, let's bring in the cameras and listen to a bunch of people who are secretaries of this and that grovel to their leader. And listen, The Apprentice got great ratings, so maybe he's correct as far as ratings go. But I realize now, and I don't care. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-any. I just don't care anymore because the whole thing is a show, and that's not my fault. It's not my fault that it's a big show. It's a show. And what do you do with shows? Some people like them. Some people don't. I find this one to be particularly boring. But I realize now, I'm not talking about this radio show. I meant
what's going on in the White House.
What's going on in the White House. That show to be particularly boring. But I realized that basically this is why he was so good on the campaign trail. I'll bet you most politicians, when they decide they're going to run for president, by the time they do like 10 rallies, and it's time for the 11th rally, I'll bet you most politicians are like, we got to do another one? Okay, all right. But this guy loves to talk. He just loves to talk. He loves to talk more than he loves to do. And there was a great article a couple of weeks ago in the Wall Street Journal that the daily thing that goes on is that the president is on the phone all the time with people walking in and out of the Oval Office. And in the middle of meetings, he just pulls out his phone, and he's like, well, let's call him. Let's see what there's a lot of he'll interrupt meetings. It's all about talking, And that's what the cabinet meeting turned into, where, sometimes these things are funny. I don't take it seriously. But sometimes I feel like close those doors and do serious stuff. Like I'm not supposed to see anything. And by the way, when the doors open back up, don't go blowing up some country. I'm not asking for that. I mean, does anybody at any meeting ever bring up the middle class? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, what about the middle? Oh, all right, I'll shut up.
I'll give it to RFK Jr. I feel like he just went to work. He could have a camera in front of his face every day. I don't think that he's out there upping his social media brand or whatever. Now, people may dislike him, but I feel like he's like, hey, I'm given an opportunity. I'm putting on a suit and tie. I'm going to work every day.
Bill Nye the Science Guy was on CNN earlier today, and he said he had to block RFK Jr. because he kept texting him too much. So, so you got blocked, RFK Jr. from Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I kept telling him how dumb his show was. By the way, 25 years ago he said there were 2 genders. Now he thinks there's 1,000.
Is that true about Bill Nye?
Yeah, he does an educational thing on his old show where he goes, how many genders are there? And a boy and a girl.
Okay. All right. I see. Well, things have changed.
Science doesn't change all the time.
But see, here's the great thing is if I didn't have to do this for a living, I could decide to check out and not care what anybody's saying about anything.
You wouldn't even know.
I have no idea. I told you this. My dream is to be out of, to be retired long enough before it happens that I could actually be somewhere. And I at this point have not watched, listened to, or read the news in say 4 years, and then just look up and see a nuke coming down and go, well, I guess they finally did it. Well, I guess they just blew up the whole world. Because in reality, what if I had cared and read every story in those 4 years? What would that do? That means I would have had a stressful 4 years rather than a stressful 30 seconds. Because no matter how much I keep up with the news, there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Oh, I'll vote for that other person who said that. They're exactly the same. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. Palantir runs the country. I got excited about that last rally. And I thought if we put this guy or gal in there, things would change. Well, I'm older, I'm smarter, and things aren't going to change. And the intelligence agencies are going to decide which wars you're in. And you got nothing to say about it. And the middle class is never going to get healthier from here. This is what we're dealing with. So why am I going to go, hey, that person should be president?
They are saying that
Why? So they can be, the first day the intelligence agencies walk. Oh, I know you talked about all this stuff on the. I always go back to John C. Dvorak, who his way of putting it was whenever somebody gets in power that is speaking against the intelligence agencies, they're in the first meeting. They have tell you what's going on in the world or whatever, and then halfway through the meeting, they pull out a photo, and they point to it and they go, "What's that in your mouth?" And from that point on, the president basically does what they're told by the intelligence. Is it that simple or black and white? No, but in effect,
I can't believe
that's
you
what
don't
happened.
You don't want to be on the air during the Newsom Ocasio-Cortez administration.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
Think of how much fun that'll be.
How will it be fun? Wait, is it more like, did you hear what he said?
Exactly.
Did you hear what she said? The entire debate in America is a playground thing, from 7th grade. And you know what? I don't have the energy to even condemn it.
Well, people are saying.
I'm just not afraid to recognize it. There are no serious players.
There's
the
hope.
ones who are serious are the ones who just want to drop bombs everywhere. They're serious.
There's hope, Eric. Apparently, the millennials are being considered the hero generation.
By whom?
Because
the millennials
themselves. Because of the timing of world events and looking back at history. It turns out that when our generation comes, even the dogs agree, that when our generation comes into power finally, and you guys finally let go, you're the boomers and the Gen Xers.
You have the vice presidency.
That timing-wise, we will be the quote-unquote hero generation, like the greatest generation before.
So they're going to get elected on ideals and principles and have no want of power or wealth or status or anything. What is it about the millennials that makes you think they're going to be any better?
You just have to believe in it. You have to believe in history. Look back at history.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that guy who used to have that crazy mustache is now the president. things are going to get a lot better.
Craft beer for everybody. Let's have an experience, America.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. It's not about how
there's hope.
There's only one thing of hope, and that is that if you can't have a thriving. I'm sorry. You can't have a successful country without a thriving middle class. It can't happen. You can't just have gazillionaires and people who are basically indentured servants hoping that the cancer diagnosis doesn't come until they can at least almost afford it. This is what we have now. This is what we have. And the middle class isn't getting any stronger. That's the only temperature you need to take. It's the only thing you need to even look at to know if your country is doing well or not. How's the middle class doing? When the middle class is thriving and burgeoning, that means there's a ladder down to those below them and some access to start moving up. It also means that the people in the middle class have a ladder to perhaps jump a little higher than that. And it also means the rich people who have products to sell have plenty of customers who can afford to buy their, 75% crap that you don't need, whatever. We have an economy based on keep buying crap you don't need. You don't need to pay $7 a day for a cup of coffee, but keep doing it as a patriot because we need that. If everybody suddenly decided to go out and buy coffee beans and a grinder, this country would be screwed. So please keep buying this crap that essentially most of it you don't need. That's what the whole thing is based on. So if you eviscerate the people in the middle who can do that, and your economy is based on that, I mean, what is it we see today? Like NVIDIA is the first $4 trillion company. Why? Because they're doing the best with AI chips. Because people who aren't you, are nothing like you, will never meet you, who secretly hate you, have decided that has to be the future. Remember when we used to debate the Greens about nuclear energy? Boy, that went away. Boy, as soon as we found it out, we needed 10 times more energy if we even going to think about beating China in the AI race. Interesting. I grew up in a country where this was a debate. Oh, no, we're not even having the debate.
Build them.
We just found out that we have to do this to beat China. Therefore, no debate, no nothing. Now, I think we should have gone to more nuclear energy a long time ago. So I'm not against it. But it's interesting that we all will do what we're told to do to get this country to AI supremacy. Did anybody ask you about it? By the way, all of this AI stuff, does it have any ability whatsoever to make the middle class healthier in this country? Can anybody even think of how it would? And I'm not talking about how it helps when you write a paper or something like that.
Can help you find a side hustle.
Are there going to be many side hustles that aren't being done by AI? I mean, try to become an Uber driver, it's going to be robos.
Let me ask Grok that question.
Yeah, exactly. And but I mean, this is, we're heading into a future that does not, where the people who are in charge simply, at the best, don't care about the middle class. At the very top, when you see the Bezos people, they wake up every day at war with the middle class. You can't have a thriving, burgeoning country like that. So I'm supposed to come on here and go, boy, I don't like what that rock star said. Who cares? But that's what they've got. That's the bread and circuses. That's what they've got everybody. Oh, I used to like De Niro and I like his movies, but I'm never watching Raging Bull again. Did you hear what he said? Meanwhile, no conversation about the evisceration of the middle class. I got to come in here and play the game. You can't get so far out. Because I can feel it sometimes. If we come on and we're just like having fun, I can feel that WSB pressure. It's like, hey, that big thing happened today. And I thought every talk show host had to mention it. And so I would love to turn this into something completely non-political, but I'm not that stupid. We have to keep it in line.
Is it the pressure from the Big B?
The Big B?
The Big B in WSB?
It's that, what was that mascot?
Wisby?
Yeah,
Wisby.
Yeah.
You'll talk about Trump all day. If you don't, I'm going to hit you with my walker.
So how do I make jokes about this when the President of the United States is already making the jokes? So this is a cabinet meeting, and the first thing is, I want to start with number 2, where he's talking about some of the changes he would like to make to the room that they're in, which is, by the way, when these changes are made, I predict like that, overnight, healthy middle class.
Mm-hmm.
The only question is, will I gold leaf the corners? You could maybe tell me my cabinet could take a vote. You see the top line moldings, and the only question is, do you gold leaf it? Because you can't paint it. If you paint it, it won't look good because they've never found
only question
that looks like gold. You see that in the Oval Office.
Gold leaf.
They've tried for years and years. Somebody could become very wealthy, but they've never found a paint that looks like gold. So painting it is easy, but it won't look right. And the question is whether or not we should gold leaf it. Linda, do you have an opinion?
Linda.
You like it the way?
No, I gold leaf.
You'd gold leaf it?
Yeah.
Who would gold leaf it? Could I? How about? Would you gold leaf it?
Are we in kindergarten?
What about shiplap?
Yeah, subway tile. I don't know.
Open concept.
I love open concept. I knocked that wall over.
And I know that this is part of his gregarious nature and all of that, but now we have real problems in this country. There's the real, before we go, some of the, what's this, where he talks about, he stole Marco Rubio's grandfather clock from the...
From his office.
Well, where was he? At State?
I believe it was his Senate office, but
okay.
He clarifies it here.
If I go into the State Department or Department of Commerce or Treasury, if I see anything that I like, I'm allowed to take it. Do you believe this? So I'm in Marco's, I see this gorgeous clock, grandfather clock, and there it is. I said, Marco. He didn't know about it. I had to read him the rule and regulation. I said, Marco, I love this clock. Look at it. It's beautiful. He said, what clock? I said, the clock that's in the other room is incredible, and nobody gets to see it there. Marco, I tried to talk him into it first, and it sort of worked, and then I had to use a little more. I said, I'd love to
Grandpa,
take that clock out and put it in the cabinet room.
Beautiful
he said, no, are you serious?
He's still going.
Marco, I have the right to do it, Marco.
All right, you see, this is a guy who misses his rallies.
Yeah.
He likes to sit around and tell stories and make people laugh. And guess what? Unlike with this show, sometimes I've found with some of my jokes, I don't have the power to force people to laugh. Nothing feels better when you're telling jokes and nobody wants to lose their job.
It's July, and that means pool days, summer celebrations, and of course, heat. Georgia heat is brutal. Don't let your home be a sauna. Coolray has the perfect solution to keep you cool this summer. Coolray is offering you $2,250 in rebates and free attic insulation when you purchase your new complete carrier system. You know, proper insulation is like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. Call or go online to Coolray.com to book your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Hi, I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks. They've built their reputation on quality craftsmanship and honest pricing, and I've seen firsthand how they put customers first. That's why I proudly certify them for windows, doors, siding, and decks. And with ABC's 3-way warranty, which includes my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, you can invest with confidence.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's Best Choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. For year-round outdoor fun, take 10% off a custom deck. Transform the look of your home with new siding and doors that blend beauty with performance. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwin.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Ehrman. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 3:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Vincent Financial. WSB's top local story is developing out of South Fulton. A crash, then smoke billows into the sky after what appears to be a train collision in that area. Happened on Roosevelt Highway near Union City, we're told. We are working to get more information. Meanwhile, Fulton County residents are sounding off to county commissioners considering a proposed property tax hike. Jamie Parrish is one of them.
This proposal, a jump from 887 to 987, is not just a tax increase, it's a gut punch to the very people keeping this county running.
The proposed hike amounts to nearly 12.5%. Now, there's going to be another hearing this evening at 6 at the Government Center Assembly Hall in Atlanta. As the grueling search continues for the missing from those deadly Texas floods, Lieutenant Colonel Ben Baker of the Texas Game Warden says first responders are processing it as best they can.
It's very tragic whenever you see human life, but to see a child and that loss of life is extremely tragic.
Meanwhile, the New Mexico mountain village of Ruidoso is preparing for another round of monsoon rains as it tries to dig out from historic flooding, which killed a man and 2 children. The DeKalb County Commission votes 4-3 to approve a 100-day moratorium on new data center applications, effective through October 16th. Currently, the county has no zoning rules specific to data centers. Development Services Director Brandon White expresses support, but says there is a sense of urgency.
We want to get it done sooner rather than later, just because we've received a lot of applications. There's a lot of interest in data centers in DeKalb.
The pause is intended to give staff some time to study the facility's impact on public safety and residents' welfare, as well as to develop some zoning regulations. This is now the worst year for measles in the U.S. since 1992. The CDC releasing new numbers this morning. CDC now reports nearly 1,300 confirmed measles cases in the country in more than 38 states. It's 3:32, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams is checking it drive in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Finally, some better news between Duluth and Norcross, Veronica. That earlier truck fire cleanup now all on the right shoulder, 85 southbound between Beaver Ruin Road and Indian Trail Road. Still in recovery mode, though. It's pretty jammed up back toward Old Peachtree Road. Hopefully that will start to improve. Northbound, some late construction still in the right lane in Duluth, 85 northbound Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Stall just cleared from the center lane. Hero got it off to the right in Dunwoody, 285 eastbound. The inner loop, Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, exit 30, but you're going to stay slow from Georgia 400. That'll just stay in place for the rest of the afternoon. And on the south side by the airport, a crash in the left lane of the 285 westbound ramps to I-85, exit number 61, and that is causing brake lights back through those airport tunnels toward I-75 in Clayton County. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, high 95. Watching for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Lows tonight in the mid-70s.
Right now it's 92 degrees at 3:33 on 95.5 WSB.
Save money by getting pre-approved for your next auto loan at Coosa Valley Credit Union. We offer the most competitive interest rates in the market, as low as 3.49 APR when you open an account with direct deposit. This is Andy Harris, President of Coosa Valley Credit Union, inviting you to stop in a branch near you. You'll experience kinder banking with real people, not automation. Plus, with 11 locations in Northwest Georgia, we're always local and nearby.
Contact 706-235-8551 for more details. Equal Opportunity Lender.
EMC Security.
Our video doorbells are handy for seeing when packages are delivered or when the kids come home or even checking to see who is at the door. But what about when something more serious happens, like a break-in or fire? That's when you need a monitored security system. At EMC Security, we've been protecting Georgians for almost 30 years. Still locally owned, still no contracts, and still offering monitoring from just $16.95 a month.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity. Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I turn the station. I can't take the just the absolute exploitation of the people of Texas that's going on with these 24-hour news networks. It is absolutely, it's egregious. It's unctuous. The people who are doing it are unctuous. You know, this is the media. You know, an absolute horrific tragedy happens to people. But it had happened before the first news truck arrived. And this is just for ratings. Oh, this is compelling people. And it's absolute exploitation. Meanwhile, it's all a matter of like choices of what the media decides to turn into a bigger story, right? So there's absolutely, this event happened, you know, in the early morning hours. And by the time any news people were there, the event was over. It was just tragedy. I mean, of course, there's rescue operations going on and all that, but the absolute horrific thing had already happened. And now here we are, 3 days into the week, the work week, and I look up and CNN, I imagine Fox and MSNBC are doing the same thing. You know, it's all like, you know, on the ground, everybody's on the ground. Oh, the guy who usually wears a suit in the studio, he's down, he's wearing jeans now because...
David Muir was like that.
Yeah, because he cares? No, because it's good for branding and ratings? Yes. Oh, I'm sure over at CNN, hey, you know, Boris Sanchez, he's just not taking off in the afternoon. Let's get him down there. Let's get him in some jeans and
polo shirt.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson did an interview with the president of Iran, and nobody's talking about it. Now, is it because no news came out of it? Or is it because the reporter said, no, that's somebody you're not supposed to talk to. So even if the biggest news ever came out of it, we're not going to report that because by talking to that person, you platform them and you legitimize them. Oh, great, media. Now you sound like an idealistic college freshman. Good job. It used to be routine that top reporters in this country would talk to, I mean, Dan Rather had a sit-down with Saddam Hussein before the first Gulf War. Totally different times. Dan Rather has been condemned for a lot of things. I don't remember being condemned for that.
He also snuck through the Khyber Pass and spoke to the Afghanis.
Right, yes. Yeah, this is what reporters used to do, not stay away from the things that their intelligence agency sources tell them to stay away from. How can you tell me, how long was this interview? I haven't seen it. Was it an hour long or something? And you're telling me that zero news came out of that. But 3-4 days after the tragedy in Texas, we're still down there. We're digging up. So here's an aunt. Here's an uncle. That's exploitation for ratings. But these same editorial people are deciding there's no reason to cover whatever the hell the Iranian president said. Because, hey, my intelligence sources tell me that we were supposed to bomb them and it was a good thing and that's it. And I wasn't born as a reporter to question that. You know, sometimes when you question something, you find out that actually it was very legitimate. Every time you question something doesn't mean you're going to find out that it was wrong. But I'll tell you how you never find out that something's wrong. You don't ask the question. So as far as the media is concerned, Texas is still an in-your-face story, when actually the tragedy was very kind of it was just happened, and it was horrible. But it's not still, so, but at the same time, these same newsrooms, I don't even want to look at that, whatever President Iran said to, because, we all know the best people in this country are the intelligence agencies. And if they tell us, what the hell happened? Let's condemn a reporter for actually speaking to an adversary.
46 years ago was the last time an American journalist spoke to the Ayatollah, a different one, but it was Mike Wallace.
Sure.
But it took 46 years.
Well, right. Well, he's not an Ayatollah. He's the president.
Oh, okay.
He's the president.
Okay, well, that's
Right.
an even bigger deal.
Yeah. Well, not really. The Ayatollah runs the place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Wallace interviewed him right after the revolution.
Exactly. And the hostages
Yeah.
and all of that.
Tucker spoke to him for 30 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
Just
and I'm supposed to believe that zero news came out of that. Or is it simply not appropriate that the American people have any understanding of what that person is saying? And who decides that? That doesn't sound like a reporter decision to me. That sounds like somebody who's interested in controlling the narrative.
Yeah, I've only seen people complaining about it, calling him a traitor.
Right.
Tucker.
Right, yeah. But God forbid that any average American be even slightly interested in what the president of Iran thinks after we bomb the hell out of them when they are zero threat to the United States of America. That doesn't mean you can't be in favor of it, but there's no way you think that they were going to come bomb us in the next week or something. So, yes, of course, we should bomb them indiscriminately, and then our media should refuse to pass along any information from the people who were bombed. That sounds to me like, that's the press at the top of their game. That's how it sounds to me. You know what not to report. They'll be in Texas all week long, even if not one more story breaks. But again, I got to go back. Remember a few years ago when the $100 million military plane was flying without a pilot over the Carolinas and just crashed into somebody's backyard? That didn't make it 24 hours. 48 hours after that event, you didn't see a damn thing about it. Why would anybody want to know why that happened when they paid for the $100 million machine that did it? It's just, it's all exploitation. This is not what you're seeing on CNN and Fox and MSNBC. Is not news. I've said it before and I'll say it again. 3 of the 4 letters in news are new. That's not what the news is driven by. The news is driven by, when we were talking about this last week, people stayed for, on average, 12 more minutes.
Oh, talk about it more.
So let's talk about it more. That's not news. News departments used to lose money. Knowing they were going to lose money, it was about prestige. But they were attached to bigger stations that did other things. So NBC, CBS, ABC got Happy Days in the 70s and is making all the money. We can lose some money on the news department because we just want to do a good job. I mean, I'm not saying they were saints. They weren't saints. But it was the mindset was different. It's like, well, we can lose money.
More
at CBS.
integrity.
Yeah, a little bit. Listen, they were also skewing the news, but it's just gotten to an extreme thing. And then when you have to fill it 24 hours of it, how is Trump going to be able to stop the war in Ukraine if I can't stop that dog from barking and interrupting my
How
show?
did you
That's
hear
not,
him?
Give me a day. Give me a day. and I'll
muted.
take care of
I've
the
heard
dog.
you, but that's how bad the dog. You're not really muted.
I am muted, but it's there's a thunder and he's barking. It's awful. I'm sorry.
Zap him. Use that little dog zapper.
I do have that. Hold on a second. Right?
No, I don't want to be part of that.
It's just a noise
I
that
know,
Jared thinks is
whatever.
torture.
I do think it's torture.
It's okay. It used to make me mad, and then I realized there's nothing I can do about it. Kind of like the whole world. I don't get it. At the point that you recognize, oh, I get it. Nobody's listening. I mean, they're listening to the radio show, but nobody's going, oh, that's what Eric said. I need to. So just stop with that, really, because people are just going to do it.
Don't you think it's an issue, though? There are so many things thrown into the news cycle at one time that I feel like it's almost intentional. And if you're somebody that casually catches up with the news, I think most people don't consume news like Tim, you, Autumn, all of us here. We don't consume news the same way that the average person does.
Autumn, not
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
I'm
giving
the
you
only one that
I
doesn't
was
like it
giving you
enough not to
praise,
read
Autumn.
the
I was giving you
No,
praise.
you think you're giving her praise, but that's not praise. Why? She's actually checked out, which, by the way, I think is the right thing to do at this point.
I think everything
There's nothing you
outside
can
of
do. It really feels like protection. Like I'm
Yes.
protecting myself because there are so many things that are just ridiculous. I mean, the most, just even listening to Trump talk just now felt just insulting as a person who tries to vote and cares about what's going to happen, but feels helpless, and it just
Well,
feels
it's
even
all-
more helpless.
It's just some of it is. It's probably always been like this, but it's so obvious now because the gap between the haves and the have-nots is so much. It's so obvious now that the bread and circuses aren't getting the job done.
And I feel
it's
like-
harder to protect yourself. You actually
You're
have to
right, and
yeah.
before you were gaining something, like you talk about the middle class. Maybe there would be the haves and then the have-nots, but then at least as someone in the middle class, you could say, well, I'm working hard and I'm seeing the results of that hard work. And now that's not really the case. And
No,
so
it's-
there's not even anything to go for.
Well, I mean and nobody talks about those things, and the private equity groups and the hedge funds and who have just don't tell, as somebody who believes in capitalism, don't put that on my back like I have to justify that, because I don't. That's not capitalism. I'm telling you, that's not capitalism. Capitalism appreciates their customers. Capitalism understands it needs customers. When you're just when all you're doing is every quarter maximizing your profit for that 3 months, which means you never have more than a 6-month window of vision, that's not capitalism. Thank you, Jack Welch.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not if you win $1,000 from WSB.
It's WSB's $1,000 Thursdays tomorrow.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBRadio.com or the WSB app within that hour, and you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays
from 95.5 WSB.
where Atlanta wins.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Men, are you having problems performing in the bedroom? Do pills like Viagra and Cialis leave you feeling frustrated? Well, now there's new hope for men who suffer from ED and PE problems. Meet Dr. Katz, a specialist in men's health.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Katz with Choice Men's Health. Regardless of your age or medical condition, Choice Men's Health can safely restore your sexual potency. Our customized solutions can eliminate your problem in just one visit. There's no pain, no surgery, and it's affordable.
Guys, don't let the anxiety over your performance get you down. We can get you back in the game. Call Choice Men's Health today to find out how you can eliminate ED on the very first visit. Call 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports? The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Yeah, apparently it sounds like crap, so we don't have the audio. But there's a story where Trump, during private fundraisers, was telling people last year that in his first administration, he would get on the phone with Putin, and he would tell him that if he invaded Ukraine, that he would bomb Moscow. And what's hilarious about this, as he tells the story, is that if it went the way that that Trump is telling it, who knows? It ends with just really third graders. He said, "I will bomb Moscow," and Putin says, "No, you won't." And I said to him, "Yes, I will."
Oh, I most certainly will. By the way, can I tell you something?
Yes.
I was wondering as I'm sitting in here, I'm looking up at the ceiling. You see all sorts of lights, but it's rather shabby, and I was wondering maybe if we were to, I don't know, get some fluorescents or
LEDs?
LEDs. Those are, well, they're a little bright.
It's kind of a shabby studio.
Well,
right?
this is halogen. Can't use the old ones because you know, the lefties, you can't use these. Incandescent sucks, but it's the best light.
You know, I told Bill Caiaccio a couple of weeks ago that legally I'm allowed to take anything out of the news booth.
Oh, you are? Yeah. Did you take the clock out? Yeah. I mean, Caiaccio, that's why he's not here today. I mean, he's upset about the clock.
This is good.
I get it.
This is good. You'll accept this kind of patter going on during a cabinet meeting, but you would turn the station within 3 minutes if you tuned in and we were just like, yeah, I don't know, that thing over there, I don't know. Maybe we should go.
Well, look, you got 2 signs in here for Mark Arum. I don't see your sign. Where's your sign?
Well, I don't know.
Did you put it on the ceiling?
That's a war that I decided. It's a battle I just
Even
decided.
Dr. Joe has one. He brings it with him.
I know. And our sign for the show lights up.
No, that one never. We never got that one put together. Like that never happened. We have it.
I know. Oh, I want that thing hung up in here too.
I don't care.
Well, call your
I
guy.
don't care.
Call your guy or your gal to put that light up.
I don't
Is
care.
it what kind? Neon?
It's a radio
neon,
show.
Oh, no, LED.
Who cares? Who cares about the posters in the studio?
Those are cool shoes you're wearing today. Maybe you should try to wear, like, I don't know, loafers or something nice.
Do you think I'd look better in loafers?
Well, I said,
the
guy, what kind of shoes do you like? And it should match your belt.
Okay, I'm sorry. The shoes are brown. The black.
That's
yeah,
right.
I
We
don't
got
have
a
the
lot
class.
of things, well, important things to
I don't have
talk
the
about, but the belts.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah. And the shirt, God, Jared's wearing a beer shirt.
I want to hear one more time the president explain. This is the third time since he's been in office I've heard him or read him explaining about that the gold leaf just doesn't work with the paint. They just haven't gotten it. You just can't. It's got to be gold.
Gotta be gold.
They just can't.
Lay it out there. It looks beautiful.
The only question is, will I gold leaf the corners? You could maybe tell me my cabinet could take a vote. You see the top line moldings, and the only question is, do you gold leaf it? Because you can't paint it. If you paint it, it won't look good because they've never found a paint that looks like gold. You see that in the Oval Office.
Gold.
They've tried for years and years. Somebody could become very wealthy, but they've never found a paint that looks like gold. So painting it is easy, but it won't look right. And the question is whether or not we should gold leaf it. Linda, do you have an opinion?
After all,
You
this
like
is
it
all
the way-
performance. It's a big TV show.
You'd go.
What were they supposed to be doing there?
Who would go?
It's a
leaf it
cabinet
today?
meeting where they had
I
the
know, what are you
entire
talking about?
cabinet, and every the Secretary of State will talk about their problems, and
No, they're
obviously
redesigning the cabinets. That's what they're doing.
Oh,
It's a,
yes,
It,
it's the
makes
That's what I
sense.
thought.
Of course. It's a true cabinet meeting.
I mean, why don't we ask the Secretary of Interior Design?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Secretary of the Interior.
Who is the Secretary of the Interior?
Who knows?
It's not Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon, I believe, is
Secretary
the
of Education.
education, right?
Yeah.
It's her job to get rid of these.
Bergman.
Bergman.
Doug Berg, he's
Oh,
very
man,
busy.
he's going to run for president.
He already did.
Yeah, he didn't do so hot.
It's true.
Well, they were up against you. Next time
I
around,
don't
you
even
don't have
know
to
what
worry
they
about that.
DeSanctis.
I see a future with Gavin Newsom. I really do, because
He was already in South Carolina yesterday.
it's all
South
performance.
Carolina.
It's all performance based, right? And California is a complete and total mess. Anybody would look at that and go, "We don't want the governor of that state to be the president." But it's all performance based. And before he starts speaking, and he sounds like half of RFK Jr. with that gravelly voice, he just looks like he was ordered up from Hollywood. He looks like a movie president. And that, I think, in this country right now is going to get you 60% of the way to the Oval Office.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Aaron, you mentioned that taxes are on sale. What exactly does that mean? And is it something we need to take advantage of right now?
Yeah, Mark, it may not feel like it right now, especially this time of year, but when you look at history, we are actually in historically low income tax rates time. If you look back, tax rates have been significantly higher, and when you look at the national debt, which most reference at around $36 trillion, but when you consider the fact that with all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, it's actually north of $100 trillion. When we look at factors like that, there's a pretty good chance that tax rates actually go significantly higher again. So yeah, you can make an argument that right now taxes are on sale.
So Aaron, what can we do right now to take advantage of these low tax rates?
If you don't have an income plan in your retirement conversations, then you actually don't have a tax plan. And that's important because if you don't have a plan for your money, guess who does? Uncle Sam's got one, and by default, you'll fall into that one. So we want to offer you a no-cost, no-obligation tax map. It's a deep dive into your retirement plan and specifically your tax strategy. From there, we'll make suggestions based on what's working or what opportunities could better fit your situation. The goal is for you to keep more of your hard-earned money while giving less to Uncle Sam. Call us at 770-280-1488. Again, that's 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we're available all across Metro Atlanta to meet you at a time and place that fits your schedule.
Taxes are not a seasonal conversation, and they're not going away once you retire. Take advantage of the complimentary tax map by calling the Vincent Financial Group today, 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. And join us for Retire ATL, Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Veronica Waters. News is brought to you this hour by Hoffman Financial Group. WSB's top local story is developing this hour. The South Fulton Police Department is investigating a crash that occurred at about 2:24 this afternoon near the intersection of Stonewall Tell Road and West Brook Road. That's where a train collided with a tractor trailer. Police tell us 2 individuals sustained injuries, and those don't appear to be life-threatening. Still, this cause of the crash remains under investigation. Stay with WSB as we continue to gather more information for you. It is 92 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we've got the possibility of some hit-or-miss storms this evening. Hot highs in the mid-90s before that. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is straight ahead. Fulton County residents today giving the county commission an earful over property taxes.
Fulton County commissioners are proposing a property tax hike of nearly 13%, and that's not going over very well with some residents like Jamie Parrish.
That's hundreds of dollars pulled from kitchen tables across Fulton County. People are already stretched thin between rising mortgages, utilities, groceries, insurance, and now you want $80 million more?
The proposed hike applies to all property owners regardless of whether they claim a homestead exemption. The commission is set to vote on the 2025 millage rate on August 6th. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's 20 years in federal prison for a Customs and Border Protection officer who used the cover of his job to smuggle coke.
In January of 2020, he boarded a commercial flight from St. Thomas going to Atlanta with 16 kilos of cocaine in his carry-on bags.
Atlanta U.S. Attorney Teddy Hertzberg tells WSB 45-year-old Ivan Van Beaverhout was caught by a K-9 officer after landing at Hartsfield-Jackson. He says his office will always prosecute those who abuse their law enforcement authority. DeKalb County commissioners approve a 100-day moratorium on applications for data center development.
The vote was 4-3 in favor of hitting pause so staff can write specific regulations relating to data centers. Development Services Director Brandon White says there are a lot of variables for these kinds of projects.
Community concerns, utility concerns, those types of things that need to be vetted by the board.
There is ever-growing demand for these data centers, but also growing concerns about their power and water requirements and the potential adverse effects on surrounding residential areas. White believes the pause through mid-October is adequate time to draft new policies and procedures for approval. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Officials are calling voter turnout miserably low in the Democratic runoff for the Georgia Public Service Commission. Through Tuesday, no ballots had been cast in 6 counties. Statewide, only 9,822 ballots were recorded during the first 2 days of early voting, and those numbers are making it likely that fewer than 1% of Georgia's 7.4 million active voters will even participate. Cobb County law enforcement say they are ready ahead of the All-Star game at Truist Park.
With thousands of fans expected in and around the area, Cobb County Public Safety Director Mike Register says expect to see more law enforcement around the Battery.
We have various operational centers down here within the Battery, Truist Park, and Galleria area, plus we have our real-time crime center that we're using extensively for this.
Register says they've been meeting sometimes twice a week with federal agency partners leading up to the game. Officials say the goal is to ensure everyone has a fun and safe experience. At Truist Park, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
The Trump administration is suing California for continuing to allow transgender athletes to compete on girls' sports teams. The U.S. Senate is working on a bipartisan bill to put sweeping sanctions on Russia. This as the country fired more than 700 drones at Ukraine overnight. The main focus, the region where Ukraine receives military aid from the West. Meanwhile, Pope Leo has met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in Italy Wednesday. He is once again offering to host peace talks between Russia and Ukraine at the Vatican. The Atlanta Police Foundation is offering new $10,000 signing bonuses for experienced police officers who join the city's police force. Director of Officer Support Programs Curtis Lean Bass says it's part of their efforts to boost the department's ranks ahead of really big events like next year's World Cup.
We want to be fully staffed with capable, experienced officers before the world arrives here next year.
Bass says officers who decide to move within city limits can also qualify for extra incentives. She says the bonuses are privately funded by donors and Atlanta's business community. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, though, live team coverage of traffic and weather is just about to begin. Alex Williams on that commute.
Big jam on the south side perimeter, Veronica, 285 westbound, the inner loop making your way through the airport tunnels, passing Hartsfield-Jackson there in Clayton County. Crash right now. They're holding the 285 west inner loop ramp to I-85, exit number 61, so all stacked up there. Hopefully they're just trying to relocate this crash. Elsewhere, 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side, seeing a few brake lights from South Atlanta Road. On some wet pavement where it rained down to Hollowell Parkway. 285 westbound, the outer loop on the north side slows between Dunwoody and Sandy Springs. 85 northbound, it's been a rough one all afternoon, leaving Chamblee-Tucker Road in the Dunwoody-Chamblee area, trying to make your way up to Pleasant Hill. And some southbound delays still through Duluth, where earlier tractor-trailer fire cleanup remains on the right shoulder between Beaver Ruin and Indian Trail. New trouble on I-85 in Midtown, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's 85 northbound before the Buford Spring connector exit 86. It's a crash. It blocks the center lane, causing delays moving through Midtown, downtown. Southbound ride slow, starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid this afternoon. High 95. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms with the heating of the day. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with scattered afternoon storms. High near 90. Friday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered storms. High 89.
92 degrees right now in Duluth. 91 in Dunwoody. 92 in Midtown Atlanta at 4:06. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Our producer, Jared Yamamoto, said the hits keep coming. Now, first, I want to make sure that you know that you're right about this. I don't want somebody saying, oh, there's more than one language. But the official language of Liberia, I know this to be true, but back me up on it anyway, George, by looking up, is English, right?
Correct.
Let's back that up before we listen to this. Because nothing's worse than when you make a fool out of yourself trying to point out how somebody else is acting like a fool.
It's right.
Google says English.
English, all right. So
Would you like to apologize?
President, I'm not apologizing. I'm back in sourcing. This is what news used to be, not just whims and notions.
I think it might be.
You get a couple of sources. I've had the doctrinaires and myself pass out some.
Not this doctrinaire today.
Oh, not today. We've only been on an hour.
Exactly. Not today, though. I'm clean today. Clean.
So he has the president. Are they a prime minister place or a president place?
President.
Okay, of Liberia, and this went down.
We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Yes, I heard that in.
Is he awake also? He sounded more like Biden.
He's getting that there.
Don't jump.
Don't
jump, buddy.
This is the way. You're not supposed to have to know everything about the world. This is not how it works. But what this tells me is he's not getting briefings. People realize, the way it's supposed to work is...
Or he's ignoring them.
Right. 15 minutes before one of these meetings, you get with somebody, and they just kind of go over, this is what's going on. You don't have to... Somebody don't have to worry about a language barrier. They speak English in Liberia. Something like that, And because, you can't expect the President of the United States to know what is spoken. And half the people that will be laughing at him about this didn't know it either. But it's his job to know it and to have people around you that get you prepared for a meeting. And so when you walk into the meeting, you know it. And 15 minutes after the meeting, you're meeting somebody else and you forgot it. But you got the people who are going to get you ready for the meeting. And that shows me, I think, that either people just stop trying, to give him information, or whatever. But that's definitely somebody getting prepared for this meeting at some point say, don't worry about a language barrier. They speak English in Liberia.
Yeah, whatever. Bring it in.
I think that's what it is. It's not.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of thing. Hey, it worked for Larry King. He used to brag about the fact that he never prepared for one single interview.
Like the one with Seinfeld. Do you even know who I am? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
You were on When Seinfeld on.
We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
I'm not surprised Trump
Thank you.
is
It's such good
educated in
English.
his own country.
It's beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where? In Liberia.
Really?
Well, that's very interesting.
Where's Liberia?
Yeah, what is, did you go to S-Hole University?
What crappy building pretending to be a college taught you how to speak so well? You guys, what is Liberia? Is it a country? Is it a state?
We played that. We were talking earlier about how tapes have surfaced of Trump when he was in the giving private fundraising, and where he was telling the story over and over again, where he, during his first administration, was on the phone with Putin and said, if you invade Ukraine, I'm going to bomb Moscow. And Putin was like, no, you're not. And then he's like, yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. That's how it ended. But if you look at someone like Putin, some kind of sociopath and a Machiavellian leader, he saw right through him right there. Because I can tell you for a fact he wouldn't have done that.
No, they wouldn't have let him.
No one would have. He wouldn't have done it. You're just starting World War III. You bomb Moscow, and you're starting a nuclear war. And could it possibly have gotten to that after he invaded? Maybe. But there's no way that our opening shot on that would have been, we're going to bomb Moscow. So because Putin is this sort of sociopathic Machiavellian, machine head, he doesn't have emotions like the rest of us usually do, and like Trump does. And so he was able to say, okay, he's bluster. He always goes for the biggest thing first. That's his style. The tariffs are going to be 450%. We pushed this date back. Now the letters are being sent out about tariffs. Now they're going to go into effect on August 1st. But why would anybody deal at this point? They know what happened. He went with his extreme thing. The stock market tanked. He freaked out.
Taco.
Huh?
Trump always chickens out.
Trump always chickens out,
That's
right?
right.
But and so but it's not a matter of chickening out. You started at 450%, and that was absurd. And everyone saw that it was absurd. And these leaders that are not emotion-driven, but who knows what Putin wants? But he thinks about the history of Russia like in 1,000-year terms. I don't know what's inside of his head, but I know he wants something, and he's not going to let, Trump, and I hope MAGA is finding this out, and if somebody from the left rises like this, we're learning something about when he said, I'll end the Ukraine war for my inauguration. It turns out you can't end wars simply by the force of your personality. And he has worked in such a way that he's the closer. You bring Trump in the end, if there's a little trouble with this, he wows them with his personality and his stories, and maybe if you're lucky, he'll tell you that whole thing about how they haven't been able to make a good gold paint. But Putin is not going to be. Putin doesn't care what Americans think of Trump, what Americans think of Putin, what Americans think of Russia, whether or not Trump is successful. And that's why the only way to deal with these world leaders is to be very objective and logical yourself. And that all of these promises that, I'm going to end the war in one day and all this, well, it turns out you can't end wars between peoples who have hated each other for hundreds of years. Total entangled, history between Ukraine and Russia. Russia started in Kyiv. People don't even realize that. The first tribe that had RUS in their name was in the Kyiv area. And you can't and that was in like the year 650.
Good year.
It was a great year for that tribe.
Finally out of the darkness period. Could grow things.
So That is not going to be resolved by the force of your personality. He was basically saying to the MAGA people, you know how you waited in long lines and you're sitting out in the hot sun because you love my personality and you're at these rallies? Well, this is basically how I'm going to get things done. And why wouldn't you believe it? You're wowed by my personality. But you can't end wars by force of personality. You have to know a whole lot of the history that's going on. You have to stop having phone conversations. It went well. It doesn't matter if it went well. It doesn't matter if everybody was pleasant. World leaders are always pleasant when they're on the phone with you. What matters is he has an objective. I have an objective. At the end of the phone call, who got more of what they wanted? Are we closer to what we want? Is he closer to what he wants? It definitely wouldn't play in prime time and be a hit. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of detail work. It's not the grand show. And if he was smarter, I think he'd have people doing the detail work, and then he could step out on the stage when it's time to sign the treaty or whatever and put the grand show on that way. But the actual details of governance is not a grand show. And the things that work for ratings don't end wars. You can get good ratings by force of personality. That's what The Apprentice was all about. You put somebody like Schwarzenegger in there after he leaves and they go, pfft. That show was about his personality.
That was a good invention, yeah. You're fired.
To the copper. He used to say to the copter.
To the copter.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Oh, the chopper, right.
You're fired.
Well, if it does go wrong, guys, we do have trade deals with the UK, China, and Vietnam. So we just trade with those three.
We've
got three. We can trade with all three of them. We're good.
I thought Canada capitulated.
They did not.
Everything's up and down. But I'm saying at this point, with him moving the goalpost all the time, if you can do it with your economy, why not wait a little bit longer? See what happens on August 1st. He got the shock of what happened with the stock market after his day of liberation. And I would imagine if I'm sitting in some podunk country, that I'd be like, well, let's see what he does on August 1st. You know, maybe he does it, maybe he doesn't. Probably if he does it within 2 weeks, he'll put it back.
3,000% on yurts from Mongolia. Deal with it.
And meanwhile, none of this is doing anything for the middle class. I'll keep bringing it up because no one else will. Hello, we say. Hello. Happy Wednesday to Alex Williams. Alex says there's a crash on 85 in Midtown.
Well, happy Wednesday, Eric and gang. Yeah, we're watching this crash in the center lane, 85 northbound, before you get to the Buford Spring Connector, exit 86. Keeping the ride slow back through Midtown, 75, 85 north. Even before that, jams in from University Avenue, trying to get past Freedom Parkway. Southbound delays start at the 85-400 merge. Take that down to I-20. Brand new trouble in Duluth, 85 southbound, just before Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Crashing a couple of left center lanes, keeping the ride slow. Back before Sugarloaf Parkway. If it keeps getting worse, you might want to think about using Satellite Boulevard as an alternate. Also been watching a crash on 285 down by the airport, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, we're tracking some better news. 285 westbound, the Interloop on the exit 2, I-85, exit 61. Big rig crash moved off to the side. Those delays back to I-75 should start to improve. And this report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save on protein at Whole Foods Market. Get 35% off no antibiotics ever, 90% lean ground beef with Prime through July 15th. While supplies last, shop in store or online, terms apply. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Coolray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Your neighbors won't say what they're thinking, but I will. Your siding is hideous. Dave Baker here for the only siding company I recommend, Nelson Exteriors. Your ugly siding is faded, warped, cracked, rotting, and just falling apart. Nelson will properly install beautiful new siding with unmatched quality and craftsmanship so it lasts and lasts. They're licensed, insured, and a James Hardy Elite Preferred Contractor. Count on Nelson for an extraordinary renovation. Google Nelson Exteriors.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door.
I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
What's the biggest mistake people make when selling their home? That one's easy. Settling. I don't mean settling down. I mean settling for way less money. It happens all the time. You get tired, worn out. A few lowball offers roll in, and suddenly you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just take it. Not with Orchard, because Orchard has flipped the entire system. First, they give you cash up front for your current home. That means you can go ahead and buy your next place on your timeline. No showings while you're still brushing your teeth. No packing up twice. No weird limbo life. Then, while you're chilling in your new place, Orchard gets to work selling your old home for top dollar. They handle the details, the marketing, the heavy lifting, and you get more money without losing your mind. So stop settling. Get your free home valuation today at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
You know, it shouldn't be that difficult to put together that the national language for Liberia is English because the capital is named after the 5th president of the United States. Monrovia is named after James Monroe.
That's
And I just looking it up, it was called Christopolis before.
Don't they have our Constitution or something?
They have something.
It must be modeled exactly on it.
It was a big deal because James Monroe was there were freed slaves, and he was trying to get them moved. He did move some of them to Monrovia, which was Christopolis at the time. So there is a connection between Liberia and the United States. And I don't know of any other. How many other cities? Is that the only city outside of the United States named for? It has to be for an American president. It has to be.
Let's ask Grok.
Somewhere in Australia where somebody's got Reaganville or something like that. What does Grok say? He's not going to go off on Hitler, I hope.
I hope not.
I identified him as a he.
Isn't Kosovo called Clinton land now?
I believe, yes. I think it's got to be the only capital city of a foreign nation named after a U.S. president.
It's the only one, other than Washington, D.C.
Right, that's here.
Yeah.
That's here. And it's not
That
a city.
doesn't count.
It's a district. So, on 2 levels, that doesn't count.
We're going to take that over, too.
I see. Well, Greenland will be Trumpville.
Well, yeah, but Washington, D.C., we're going to take it over.
Yeah, I know. Taking over New York City.
Maybe.
Like, how is this helping anybody? I don't know. And this is apropos to nothing, but I just saw in my notes here. Everybody's getting excited about Devil Wears Prada 2. And Meryl Streep is coming back. Devil Wears Prada, very, very fun movie. Enjoyable. I didn't see it till a few years after it came out, but I was surprised that it was as fun and enjoyable as it was.
Better than you expected.
Yes, it was. And I can almost guarantee you, don't get excited, because what's going to happen here is exactly what happened between Sex and the City and their new, what's that new one called? Then All of a
And
Sudden.
Just Like That.
And Just Like That.
Yeah.
And my wife loved Sex and the City. She can't watch this new show.
It's awful.
Yeah. It's just.
Did you see the newest thing that happened with them?
Well, hold on. Let me make my point first, and then
Okay.
So basically, the reason my wife can't watch it, I never watched Sex and the City, and I never watched this, And she says it's just a bunch of young people convincing them that they were completely wrong with their attitudes, and it's like you shouldn't talk like that. This is what's coming. This is my prediction. What made Devil Wears Prada 1 so great is that she was such a classic witch. She was a charismatic witch. And this is my prediction. That 2, Devil Wears Prada 2, is just going to be young people convincing her how wrong she was and how she can't have these attitudes now and that people are different, and she's going to find out that she was wrong and the young people are right. That is my prediction. The first one, when they made it, they were just out to make a good movie. This one, well, we hope it's a good movie, but let me tell you one thing about this movie. I'll tell you what it's going to be. Whether it's entertaining or not, it will live on the right side of history. Now, what's the latest thing that happened with and all of a sudden this whatever the name of the new one is?
So in season 1, one of the women, who's not one of the original women, but one of the new people they're bringing on, was talking about when Big died, that she went through something similar when her father died. And then smash cut to this season, she calls Charlotte and she's like, my dad just died. But he'd already died in the first season.
They
it's
lost
like
their
AI
continuity.
is truly writing.
Absolutely.
And they just are not checking to make sure.
And it's not like the first show was on 50 years ago.
No.
Or 60 years ago.
Last year?
People get all excited about this time capsule from 50 years ago. 50 years is nothing. Like, isn't it supposed to be? It's supposed to be exciting when you open a time capsule from a time where nobody's alive now that was alive then, right? But I was alive in 1975. Like, what? I don't get why. Oh, there's a pet rock in there. Well, that's quite illuminating.
An evil doll.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known that. There's nostalgia and there's stupid nostalgia. That's stupid nostalgia. Alex Williams says there are brake lights on 85 into Duluth. I suppose, Alex, that's because people are hitting the brakes.
They are all due to a crash, Eric. It's in a couple of left center lanes. Still waiting for some help to get on scene with this one. 85 southbound just before Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. You're seeing the brake lights now back towards Sugarloaf Parkway. Traffic troopers tell us of a new crash. We're going to see if we can get eyes on it on the jam cam in Tucker, 285 northbound, the outer loop around Chamblee Tucker Road. Seeing those brake lights stretch back toward Lawrenceville Highway. How is the ride on I-75 up into the northwest part of town, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75 northbound seeing slow rides beginning in Marietta, starting at Delk Road, getting into Kennesaw towards Chastain Road, and 575 northbound, just a slight tap of the brakes getting into Woodstock. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
School's out, so traffic is down, but your guard should still be up. Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates, the Strong Arm. Summer road trips, aggressive drivers, and teen drivers could lead to more wrecks. I know. I see them each and every day. Been hit and hurt in a life-changing wreck? Make the life-changing call to the Strong Arm. Insurance companies want to pay you way less than you deserve. The Strong Arm will fight for you. Zero cost until they win. Call 24/7 for your free case evaluation. JohnFoy.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially trouble with your heart. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's heart scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries early with the best CT imaging in the Southeast and with 98% accuracy. To encourage you to take action now, for a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their heart scan for only $49. It's a $495 value, but appointments for this offer will fill up fast, so don't wait. To schedule your Virtual Imaging $49 heart scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. I know, it saves lives. Don't put it off. Take advantage of this great offer from Virtual Imaging.
Does it seem like it's getting louder and louder? Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. That noise is your garage door crying for help. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Our highly trained technicians provide 24/7 service, upfront pricing, and free estimates. We service all major brands. Our products are warranted, and our work is guaranteed. We will treat you like our only customer. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 4:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. WSB's top local story: a proposed property tax increase is not getting the thumbs up from Fulton County residents. Jamie Parrish and Kelsey Bond are among those urging county commissioners to vote it down.
At 12.49% property tax hike, that's not modest. That's outrageous.
Unfortunately, Fulton County, much like Trump's administration, is no stranger to using working people's hard-earned cash to subsidize the ultra-rich.
The next public hearing on the proposed increase comes tonight at 6 o'clock. Lawmakers will vote on this proposal next month. 2 people are hurt after a train hits a trailer hauling a dump truck in Fulton County. South Fulton police are investigating the cause of this crash, which happened a little after 2 o'clock today near the intersection of Stonewall Tell Road and Westbrook Road. 2 individuals' injuries do not appear to be life-threatening. DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston says a jury has convicted a Stockbridge teenager who shot and killed another teen outside a restaurant. 18-year-old Jakari Childs is sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, plus 6 years in the death of 16-year-old Jacob Johnson. Johnson was the best friend of Childs' ex-girlfriend and worked with her at a Lithonia IHOP, where Childs came to look for her. The DA says Childs opened fire in the parking lot when the girl asked him to leave, shooting Johnson, who was standing beside her. The Georgia Federation of Teachers is urging Georgia's General Assembly to hold a special session after a decision by the Trump administration to withhold more than $200 million from Georgia's public schools.
The move by the federal government came just as Georgia school districts finalized budgets for the upcoming academic year. The teachers group sends Governor Kemp a letter saying it's blindsided by the action. Georgia Federation of Teachers President Verdelia Turner writes she's cautioning the state against appropriating millions of dollars for education solutions or ideas because she says there is no sound evidence-based reason for doing so. Meanwhile, she says she's thankful for Georgia's $15 billion surplus of funds. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
An appeals court blocks the FTC's efforts to simplify the click-to-cancel rule, which sends the progress right back to the drawing board. Correspondent Andrew Dimbert explains.
The rule announced during the Biden administration would have required businesses to make it easier for consumers to cancel subscriptions, memberships, and free trials, but the court says the FTC failed to conduct a required analysis on the rule's impact.
The rule was set to go into effect on Monday, but the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit said the FTC made a procedural error in its related cost analysis. A former Customs and Border Protection officer is headed to federal prison for 2 decades after being sentenced for smuggling cocaine into Atlanta. U.S. Attorney Teddy Hertzberg.
When he got off the plane in Atlanta, there was a canine who detected the cocaine, and then Beaver Hout was tried in our district earlier this year and sentenced to 20 years of prison.
45-year-old Ivan Beaverhout was based in the Virgin Islands and boarded the flight from St. Thomas in January of 2020. He says this case highlights the severe repercussions for law enforcement officers who abuse their positions of trust. More people over the age of 65 are renters now compared to 10 years ago. According to a new study from rental market research company Point2 Homes, the number of renters 65 and up jumped nearly 30%. The increase was even higher here in Atlanta, where more than 46% of seniors are renting. The study says this is likely due to several factors like downsizing, higher mortgage costs, and moving closer to family members in other areas. It is now 4:34. The Von Haessler Doctrine is coming back your way after a break. We're going to take right now some time to go over to WSB Triple Team Traffic with Alex Williams.
Stacked up 285 northbound, the outer loop over on the east side between Clarkston and Tucker got a crash. Might be impacting at least one right lane. Trying to spin the jam cam to see this, but nonetheless, it's slow all the way back to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. Southbound delays start in the same area, right at I-85 there in Dorville, Tucker, trying to get down to Memorial Drive. 285 westbound, the outer loop on the north side, you jam in right around Ashford Dunwoody Road, exit number 29. Stay slow over to I-75 there in Cobb County next to Truist Park. And southbound delays, you're on and off the brake pedal all the way down to I-20, the West Freeway. Been a slow afternoon through downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
And that's correct. 7585 northbound, seeing the brake lights start before University Ave, getting past Peachtree, Pine Street, and 85 southbound heavy brake lights stretching from the Georgia 400 merge, getting to I-20. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, high 95. Watching for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high near 90. Friday, partly cloudy with scattered storms, high 89.
Right now, 93 degrees in Tucker. It's 93 in Tyrone and 93 degrees on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 4:35. More news coming up at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You can too. GeorgeStein.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Aram here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once-yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
It's all about how you feel, Eric.
That's
I
right,
feel
Jay.
great.
You can say whatever you want, but he's starting to notice, oh my goodness, I am going to age like everyone else.
Had a couple of grays popping out.
Yep. Jared Yamamoto is very invested in youth, being young, being... we'll see how you
deal
do
with this crazy world. Listen, having a good time with friends and family is so important, and that's how you break away from how crazy this world is.
I mean, crazy, even if the world was perfectly wonderful at all times, you still would have that calendar, and here comes 40. Here comes 40.
Lordy, lordy, look who's 40.
40! Come on down! You're the next guest.
Listen, I still got 37, 38, 39, and then 40.
Okay, yeah, that's a long ways away. When did the pandemic start?
That was 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't seem like... Boy. It gets quicker and quicker as you get older and older. That's the good news.
It's not over yet, by the way.
What's not over?
The pandemic doesn't.
Oh, yeah, we still have to I know, there are people. I still see people wearing masks walking down Peachtree. I'm just like, what? And it's not like somebody who looks like they've got some sort of medical condition or something. Like these SCAD students, you'll see them walking down Peachtree. They're like 21 years old with a mask at noon.
I saw it in a movie theater.
Oh, really? And a perfectly beautiful day. It's like, do they really think that it's just hanging like a?
Oh, it's waiting for
It's
them.
just waiting. They're going to walk through it, and it's been shown that you got to sit and talk to somebody with it for minutes. Like that's how it spreads. It doesn't live on your Amazon boxes. It doesn't. You got to be with somebody, and like you're talking to them close, and they don't know they're sick yet, and you don't know they're sick, and you get it. Yeah.
Do you think they're actually afraid, or are they just trying to signal that they're
Yeah,
saving the world?
But at that point, you're really in
Little
such a
of both.
small. You're in such a small minority at this point. I mean,
I think
AOC's not walking around with one on.
I think your friends and your friend group, that's kind of how you connected, maybe, or you met during the pandemic, and
Or maybe they don't like their faces.
That's
like,
Yeah, they
hey,
could have a cold sore.
Well, it could be that, or they just be like, hey, you know what?
sore.
I like that period of time where I didn't have to show my face to everybody.
I didn't
That's-
mind that. I don't want to look at myself.
Really?
Nah, look in
Well,
the mirror.
so
Hey,
you
you
were
look good in a mask.
Were you taking a shower in a mirror
All the time.
with a mask on?
Yeah. By the way, this new variant is called Nimbus, so it's a little scarier.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
have
a cloud.
variants.
Nimbus.
What do we do with the flu every year? We you figure it out. It's.
Figure it out.
Meanwhile, they'll probably they go back. They wear the mask while they're on Peachtree on a beautiful day, and probably go back to their rooms. Do they have dorm rooms over there? I don't know, but they probably go back home and eat Fritos all night long or something. And it's just like,
They're probably
well, that's way more harmful for you than walking down Peachtree on a 72-degree beautiful sunny day.
I guarantee you they're going to MJQ on Friday or Saturday night in the new location and not wearing a mask there. But
You are
wearing the mask.
guaranteeing me? Yeah, well, that's another thing. I wear the mask sometimes.
I follow students from there.
That's
I do,
right.
I
Yeah.
do.
What do you know
Follow
about that?
around, yeah.
That's another thing is where I'll see somebody with a mask and then they'll pull it down all of a sudden. If you're that paranoid that you're still wearing a mask, shouldn't it be a 100% all the time thing? I really don't. There's no rhyme or reason. Whatever it is that you're doing, at any time, just ask yourself. If you have rituals, things that you're doing, just every once in a while ask yourself, is there any rhyme or reason to this? Or this is your politics? This is your expression of politics? You still wear a mask? Have you ever read a book that a teacher didn't tell you you had to? I mean, it's just madness. All right, what's today's ish, Yamamoto?
Oh, man, you ready for this? We got some more politics for you. From the New York Post, Biden's doctor, Kevin O'Connor, has invoked his Fifth Amendment when asked if he lied about the ex-president's health.
So this
lots
was-
of right-wingers are like, what? What's he lying about?
Well,
What's
no,
going
wait,
on
let's
here?
not pretend that's not. Let's not pretend that that's not something to raise an eyebrow at.
Why would he take the Fifth?
Well, because he would be implicated in a cover-up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his job you could easily lose your medical license if it's found out that you were feeding false information about someone's health, I would think. Dr. Kevin O'Connor, isn't he the coach of the Vikings? His ex-president, but what was it? Was it a
This is the James Comer committee.
House Oversight Committee? Yeah, okay. So he answered 3 questions. One of them he did not take the fifth on, and that is, what is your name? He answered that.
He brave.
Yeah, and then there's 2 questions about whether or not he lied to the American people about
Biden's
the
health.
cognitive abilities of Biden, and did he know about the cancer in the bones back then? And these are questions that need to be answered. He does have a right not to incriminate himself, and he may feel like there's a mob out there that wants to, just destroy me, tear me to pieces. But here's the problem with power, and this is what presidents never understand. At most, it lasts 8 years. In any one term, it lasts 4 years. All that power. It's like I saw one of the Democrats. It's actually, not any better or worse than any of the other Democrats or Republicans that are currently ruining this country. But he said something interesting. It's when the El Salvadoran president was here. And he's like, we'll put them in jail forever. They'll have no rights. I'm with you. Let's drop our pants and have fun. So it was like, yeah, we're gonna completely do this. And one of the congressional Democrats said to the president of El Salvador, not for nothing, but he's not going to be president in 4 years. You're still going to be a country. You're still going to need relations with this country. So you can get all in the moment, like the El Salvadoran president. Trumpism has taken over the world. Yeah, well, he's term limited. So how far can that go?
Maybe.
Well, we see the way he's talking now. He's not going to be in that great a shape in 3 years.
If only got a gold leaf.
I don't see. Yeah, he's still muttering about the gold leaf.
Gold leaf.
And this
That's all
doctor,
I wanted to do.
same thing with this doctor. He could be he's the president, and I'm right next to him, and we got to save the country from Trump. I can't let him know the
truth of what his condition
what's going on.
Poor
Right?
guy. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Get out there on the streets. That's right, hoes. Get on the streets. Start making money. Coming after you.
So, no, I don't
Bottom
think there's...
B.
Now, there's another side of this, which I'd have to look into that I don't know. I got to look at, like, history with presidential doctors. There is doctor-patient privilege. But does that change when you are the president of the United States? Do people have a right? And even, is that something that's been a handshake? Yes, it should be that way, but there are no actual laws around it. I don't know. So there's a kind of it is. One guy is the most public person in the world by being president of the United States, and the people have a right to know at all times what health condition that person is that is their leader. At the same time, the doctor has doctor-patient privilege. So where does that come in?
Shush up, okay?
They're trying to nullify some of the things
I'm not
he
okay.
did.
He's behind me.
With the signature, the auto pen or whatever. Maybe they're trying to do that.
Do what?
To try to nullify some of the appointments that he made. And
right.
And
but there's no precedent.
Pardons.
There's no precedent for that.
Maybe the doctor was
can't
one.
unpardon somebody.
I know.
Well, and also the diagnoses may not have been cognitive, right? Like they're talking about his cancer.
Right.
Well, they're talking about all of it. They're talking about all of it. They're
So
talking
if you
about
have cancer, doesn't mean you can't make decisions.
no. They're talking about that. The cognitive leads to the cancer. They're not exclusively talking about the cancer. They're talking about both. And then the question is, do the American people have a right to know that if the president has cancer? I think that they do, but is there a law that says they do? I don't think so.
Maybe this Dr. Kevin O'Connor was the one that was using the auto pen to write the pardons.
Maybe that, and it was his decision to draft J.J. McCarthy. He's not the Vikings coach? Boy, he looks like a goofball. Yeah.
He does.
So he doesn't look like the guy that wants to be my doctor. Kind of looks like the guy to be in the back of the room.
You want him to be the technician, right?
I want him to be like in that cubicle way back there, so I never have to really. So his cubicle is so far away from mine that we have separate break rooms that are close to us. So I don't even have to like run into him around the coffee machine. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285, jamming the ride into Tucker.
That's right, Eric. It is a crash. It's been in the right lanes. 285 northbound, the outer loop, Chamblee-Tucker Road, exit 33. You're stacked in as you leave Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway there in Clarkson. Really getting slower now back toward Church Street. Might want to think about some of your surface streets there as alternates. Elsewhere, if you're traveling on the south side, just found a new left lane crash. 75 northbound, Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224 there in Stockbridge. Delays growing back toward Jonesboro Road. And in Morrow, left lane crash, 75 southbound, Highway 54, exit number 233. Still got our eyes on a crash on I-85 in Duluth, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's 85 southbound, crash blocks 2 left center lanes at Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104, causing delays stretching into Swanee. You can avoid the delays by taking Satellite Boulevard as an alternate. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The 25th annual WSB Carathon is right around the corner, and we want to thank our friends at Jim Ellis Automotive Group.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
For their contribution and continued support for the kids at the Affleck Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's.
Thank you for all your support.
You can donate right now at WSBradio.com/Carathon.
Won't you please donate?
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's best choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's best choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're thinking about selling your home this summer, now is the time. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home hassle-free and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Skip the hassle of costly repairs and sell your home stress-free. There's no showings, no open houses, and no waiting or wondering when your home's going to sell. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports? The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Well, Jared, you said something during the break that made me think of a couple of things. One is that what Biden needs to do is do a one-man show called Trump, where he just goes and does Trumpisms. Because the reason, because Jared mentioned this, is very true. If Biden would have been the one who had that weird conversation with the president of Liberia and asked him how he learned his English, and the guy, well, because we speak English in Liberia.
MAGA would have a field day.
Oh, you speak English really great. Where'd you? Hey, articulate. Where'd you learn it?
Hey, big time, wonderful MAGA meme creator. How come your hands aren't busy today? You just swap out a different person. You put Biden in there, and big time MAGA meme creator is creating big time MAGA memes. Is he not?
What do you think about the gold leaf?
Yeah, this is Joe Biden. His one-man show called Trump.
Well, they never were able to get the gold paint right. You know, like, you know, a guy could be a millionaire, or a gal could be a millionaire, or they to make gold paint, and then, but yeah, you got to use gold. Lee, what do you think, Linda?
What about that clock, man? I don't want you to take my clock.
I could go to Anthony Blinken, and he had a big clock in there. It was Marco Rubio. Anyway.
Joe Biden.
I went in there and I said, "Yeah, this belongs to me. You check the regulations."
In Trump.
Give me the clock.
A one-man show.
Open this up, Dr. Jill. I can't. What do you think?
Wouldn't that be like? Well, it's better than like the way Hillary makes you just sit there and watch her sit on a big overstuffed chair in the Fox
Hi,
Theater.
welcome. I didn't see you there.
It's like this will be a show. Biden does Trump, a one-man show.
I used to call Putin about Vladimir Putin. I said, if you touch Ukraine, I'm going to bomb Moscow right away. So it's a lickety-split. And he said, no, you know you're not. And I said, well, you just watch me.
Joe Biden in Trump. Oh, yeah.
He's a son of a bitch.
Why not?
They're effing it up.
Why not? But you know what I'm talking about. Hey, big-time MAGA meme creator, how come the hands aren't busy today? I don't understand.
Well, it's an innocent mistake.
I see. Okay, it's not worth commenting
this
on.
one's different, right? It's
but
different.
We all agree if Biden had done exactly the same thing with the Liberian president, big-time MAGA meme creator would be creating big-time MAGA memes. That's the world we live in now. You don't believe in a principle or an idea, you believe in a person. And once you believe in a person, and you've told everybody how much you believe in this person, their potential failure is your potential failure. So you're not only looking out for them, you're looking out for yourself. You're not in it for a reason, a cause necessarily. You're in it because we won, and I love that guy. So now we have to support that guy. But if that guy does exactly the same thing that we would make fun of from the last guy, we pretend it's not a big deal. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 in Stockbridge.
It is an inbound crash this afternoon, Eric, at 75 North Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224. It's in the left lane. You're already slow back to Jonesboro Road, exit 221. We had a southbound crash in Morrow, 75 South Highway 54, exit 233. Just blocked all lanes and got that crash moved off to the side, so everything back open there between Forest Park and Morrow. What has been a rough ride is a crash causing delays on 285 in Tucker, Kobe Dawkins.
It's 285 northbound the outer loop at Chamblee Tucker Road, exit 34. Crash blocks 1 to 2 right lanes, causing delays back into Clarkston. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H-System maker model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Summer heat will only lend a hand to all that's growing in your crawl space. Dave Baker here. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions will encapsulate it to keep mold, pests, and the unwanted out. Visit aquaguard.net for your free inspection.
AquaGuard. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Bugs are everywhere. You need a pest control company that protects the outside and inside of your home. That's Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 5 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by QC Kinetics. WSB's top local story.
Let's stop wasting the taxpayer dollars.
Fulton County residents are sounding off on a proposed property tax hike, which could be just around the corner.
Those who live in Fulton County are telling commissioners now's not the time to hit them with higher taxes.
People are drowning, and instead of throwing us a lifeline, you're looking for our wallet.
Instead of combing through the budget for savings, you've asked residents to bear more of the burden.
Respect the people who elected you, respect their struggle, respect their limits, and vote no on this tone-deaf, reckless increase.
Fulton County commissioners proposing a property tax hike of nearly 13%. The commission expected to vote on the matter August 6th. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It is 94 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards predicts partly cloudy skies tonight, just like we saw today. And with highs in the mid-90s, the evening lows will be in the mid-70s, and still some hit or miss storms and showers. Just how long until the pop-up precipitation dries up? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast is coming up. 20 years in federal prison await a Customs and Border Protection officer convicted of smuggling cocaine into Atlanta. It was January of 2020 when 45-year-old Ivan Van Beverhout boarded a commercial flight from St. Thomas with 16 bricks of cocaine and 2 carry-ons. A canine officer sniffed out the coke when he landed at Hartsfield-Jackson.
There was evidence that he did other trips from Virgin Islands to the United States. It is possible that he was involved in other instances of trafficking narcotics, but this was the only one that he was tried for.
Atlanta U.S. Attorney Teddy Hertzberg says Van Beverhout abused his badge and that this case highlights the severe repercussions for law enforcement officers who abuse their positions of trust. The Atlanta Police Foundation is offering big bucks to lure veteran officers into the ranks of the Atlanta Police Department.
Private funds to cover the bonuses are coming from donors and Atlanta business community leaders. That's according to Support Programs Director Curtis Lean Bass.
$10,000 for our lateral hires because we recognize that they're going to bring immediate value. That's someone that has had at least 2 years of experience.
The program is part of the Foundation's Build a Force initiative to attract experienced officers, improve officer retention, and boost public safety. Some applicants can also get housing assistance and other support. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
With high-profile events comes stepped-up security. Cobb County officials say they are ready as they prepare to welcome baseball fans for the 2025 All-Star Game at Truist Park.
Thousands of fans are expected to descend on Truist Park in the Battery for the All-Star Game and the festivities. Cobb County Public Safety Director Mike Register says they hold regular meetings with law enforcement partners from the FAA to the FBI.
As far as police and law enforcement presence, it'll be a combination of local, state, and federal. And yes, we have increased our presence here.
He says the county's real-time crime center and an on-scene operations center will serve as hubs for agencies to work together. Officials say the goal is to have a fun and safe All-Star Game. At Truist Park, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
4 people are now reported hurt as a train crashes with a tractor trailer hauling a dump truck in South Fulton. South Fulton police say they responded to the scene after 2 o'clock today near the intersection of Stonewall Tell Road and Westbrook Road. Eyewitness Delmas Williams talks about what he saw and heard.
When that train was coming,
I don't know if they heard or not. You know, sometimes they had the windows up. They might not have heard it, but they were trying to get the car that track, man. That train hit them and took them down that track about a quarter mile.
2 individuals sustained injuries in the train and 2 on the truck, but supposedly they are not life-threatening. The cause of the crash, though, remains under investigation. Ritz recall to tell you about, so you might want to check your pantry. Some Ritz cracker sandwiches are being recalled because they are mislabeled. They could be labeled as cheese instead of peanut butter. They're the 8-pack, 20-pack, and 40-pack cartons of Ritz peanut butter crackers, and they have best buy dates of November 1st through the 9th. 2025 and January 2nd through the 22nd, 2026. It's 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, let's start off your live team coverage of traffic and weather this hour. WSB Triple Team Traffic, Alex Williams updating that commute.
Still dealing with trouble in Tucker, 285 northbound, the outer loop, Chamblee-Tucker Road, exit 33. It's in the right lane. Still seeing the brake light battle there. Back to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway, as you head up to I-85. 85 northbound, on and off the brakes, leaving 285 out of the Chamblee-Dorville area up into Norcross. Southbound in Duluth, we still got a crash. And if you left center lanes, 85 south before Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104, you're slow from Sugarloaf Parkway. 400 northbound, brake lights find you from 285 in Sandy Springs up toward Northridge, then sluggish as well through Alpharetta. 75 north and southbound, moderate volume in both directions between Marietta and Kennesaw. On I-75 in Henry County, Kobe Dawkins still watching a crash there.
And at 75 northbound, right at Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224, crash blocks one left lane, causing tough delays back into McDonough towards Highway 155. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
And now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies for this evening with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm moving through. Staying hot and humid with temperatures around 80 degrees as the sun goes down. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered pop-up storms, high near 90. Friday and Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered afternoon storms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Drying out on Sunday, but heating up through the afternoon, high 92.
Right now, we're looking at 91 degrees in the city of South Fulton. It's 92 degrees in Smyrna and 93 on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 5:06. More news at 5:30 and breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Dr. Joe is here with us because it's Wellness Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to Wellness, I have to say this will be a new segment of the show. For a moment, Eric talks about the story that actually he's interested in, but no one else will be. You have to deal with this a lot when you're the host of a radio show. It's like, well, I'm really into this, but the audience cares. So I just get out of all of these stories we've been talking about, none of them interest me more than this one. Formula One. Red Bull oust longtime team principal Christian Horner. Can you guys believe this?
What?
This guy does nothing but produce championships.
Why would they get rid of him?
Well, the
he
reason
sat in a corner. He put his thumb in the
old
pie
Christian Horner. The reason that they're getting rid of him is, I think, because they're losing in the manufacturers, the constructors cup.
Oh, I thought.
And Max Verstappen is right now in 3rd or 4th place as far as the points go. He's won the last 3 or 4 championships. But as you know, just give me a moment here. And so they have partners. You have 2 cars in Formula One, and so there's this guy Max Verstappen at Red Bull. He's the top guy because he's the best driver in the world right now. And so this is something people don't understand. And it's hard to do. But I'm going to teach you something about what makes a race car driver great. And what makes a race car driver great is how well they can drive a car that is completely and totally undrivable. Like in NASCAR, the last 10 laps before your pit stop. This is how Jimmy Johnson won 7 championships. Because Jimmy Johnson could drive the car that was out of control and not lose speed when no one else could. Well, the best driver in the world right now, Max Verstappen, is so much better than anyone else. And Red Bull has built the car to be just everything to Max Verstappen. So even though he's having a rough season, because he's coming in, he's in 3rd or 4th in points, the other driver of the Red Bull keeps showing up in like 17th place. These are coming out of the same shop, same crew. Why? Because they're building the car for the best driver in the world, and the other driver can't drive it. So now this guy he's done nothing but create champions for the last, I don't know, since like the early 2000s. And now we're having one bad year. You let the guy go. I'll tell you this. He's going to go somewhere else, and he's going to make somebody else a champion.
team's going to pick him up.
He's going to make somebody else a champion. That's what's going to happen. All right, now come back to the radio box. Eric is done talking about things that he's interested in. But that's what you understand about it. This people understand about what makes a great race driver. How long can they drive a car that is completely undrivable? That's what made Jimmy Johnson great. All right, now that you've learned something, let's get into just the pure entertainment stuff. Health. It is Wellness Wednesday, after all, and Dr. Joe is here to, take our hand, Sherpa style, and guide us through the wellness stories that are in our little wellness bag. I see you have a wellness bag with you over there with stories.
Sure do. You want to start with this new German research that had just came out?
I don't know. I don't care. Is it any good?
I think it's good.
It's a good story. I'll go with it.
I agree with it personally.
George, why are you in a button-up today? You going somewhere? You got a date? What's going on?
No, just for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I like the fact that you put in an effort today.
Thanks.
T-shirts are dirty.
Oh, the whole T-shirt thing.
Everything smelled. I got to wash this.
There's a certain
laundry
point.
day.
I do believe as an adult, there's a certain point where T-shirts should be like an every once in a while kind of thing. I really do.
Why?
Because they're for kids. They're for teenagers.
Yeah.
Hey, I just saw the Stones. All right. I think adults should dress like adults. All right, but listen, I'm upsetting Autumn.
And pick
I don't
out
want
their
to do
clothes
that.
themselves.
If I keep upsetting Autumn, that dog's going to start getting mad at me.
That's true. All of a sudden she stops zapping
Shouldn't
him.
you add and pick their clothes themselves?
Well, you think I don't pick my clothes myself?
You told us that your wife buys everything.
Yeah, your wife
She
does
used
it.
to until Amazon came
Oh,
out.
your other wife.
Now
yeah.
I just buy things, and if they don't fit, I give them away.
Now Lauren Sanchez picks her clothes for you.
That's right. She
recommends.
Yeah. It costs you a little bit more if you don't. Otherwise, you got to talk to Rufus. But if you want to pay a little more a month, you can talk to Lauren.
I'd rather talk to the dog.
Autumn's dog?
Yes.
He's right here.
You know who Rufus? Rufus is the chatbot companion on
Yes.
Amazon. I don't know if you ever had My wife was talking to Rufus the other day, and I got a little jealous.
Huh?
I know what goes on online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not stupid. All right, what kind of Wellness Wednesday story do you have?
Researchers from the University of Hamburg.
Hamburger.
Excuse me. Hamburg.
That's
sorry.
where the Beatles started.
That's
It's like
right.
hamburger.
That's right.
That's a good one. I love
From
that.
the University of Hamburg found that a 20-minute nap, including just like some light non-REM sleep, significantly boosts creative problem solving and insight generation. So it's a big deal to get those naps.
Duh.
Yeah, like yes, like I did a show yesterday, Dr. Joe, where I'd only had two hours of sleep, and I really had to focus to get through it.
That's tough. Yeah.
It's tough stuff, but I got through it.
Only 2
but
hours, really?
I think it's maybe three, maybe
Why?
three.
But you're super Eric. You can
Gooning. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're gooning all night?
Everybody
You're
was
goon
right.
cave?
Everybody's right about everything they're saying. Yes. Yeah. With my wife right next to me, I just decided to.
Well, that's why it's fun. She'll never know.
Yeah, will you get caught?
I rebel against the universe every once in a while, and I just don't go to sleep when I'm supposed to. And then I tell myself, once it gets to like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll get up there, I'll sleep until 11 or noon. I'll be fine. But I can never do that because the old man prostate wakes me up after like 4 hours, and then I'm laying there at 8 o'clock in the morning saying, "Okay, I got 4 hours. I'll just go to sleep. I'll be fine." And I can never go back to sleep.
No.
And then I lay there and I go, "Well, I could lay here pretending I'm sleeping, or I could just get up." And that's what I did. I just got up and did my day. So my point being that. Do we need research to tell us if you're tired, you don't think as clearly? And obviously, if you're a creative person, if you're not thinking as clearly, you're not going to be as creative.
Well, somebody paid for this research, so
So
yeah.
I guess
there you
might
go.
as well, yeah.
There you go. Yep, 70% of participants said they felt better after a nap. But if you do more than 20 minutes, then you have a counterproductive reaction.
Because you start falling into deep sleep.
Right, you go deeper sleep, and then you screw up your cycles and everything. So yeah.
But isn't it supposed to be in increments, right? Like 20-minute increments. So if you sleep longer than 20 minutes, as long as you sleep 40 minutes or something like that.
Oh, well, you'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Where did you read that? Is your dog talking to you again?
Kill Eric.
I don't know if you know the old Son of Sam story, but once they start giving you directives, there's a problem.
I love a nap. And I don't mind napping a short time or a long time, but as long as I nap.
I find sleeping to be boring, but
Naps are great, though.
I don't really dream
Naps
that much
rule.
anymore. And when I did mornings, I'd come home and I'd nod off on the couch for a little while. But my understanding at my age is that I should get a 20-minute nap in every day to protect myself from that first heart attack.
Yes.
After you have if you live through your first heart attack, one of the main things they send you home with is you've got to learn how to get plenty of sleep.
Yes.
And you need to have a nap in the middle of each day.
You really get more and more like a baby.
Yeah.
Yes, until you end up
I
in
need to
diapers.
eat right. I need to get the
Right.
gotta get outside.
You're bo-
Gotta
you're-
get exercise.
You're born
and I gotta-
bald, you're peeing in diapers. Look what
That's right.
happens.
Yeah.
There you go.
I gotta have a nap time.
That's why I don't care how crazy
And
they
grapes.
get over there in Oregon.
Uh-huh.
I salute them because they've got a pod waiting for me
For
for that day when I decide, not putting in 3 or 4 years like that.
Yeah.
Gather everybody around. They can wave at me in the pod as I slip this mortal coil.
If you want to make it a super nap, one of my tricks is if you put your legs up like that, like sleep, and then put your legs elevated.
Easier entry? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. It's an open invite.
It's a
Take a look at
military.
this.
It's a military technique. It's a military technique. Apparently, if you put your legs in the air and have your head down.
But how do you get your legs in the air? You got to on the
just have to,
floor?
Well, you get on your stomach. And
Oh, yeah. Autumn, help us
halfway
with this
off the
one.
bed.
Yeah.
No, you just use like the arm of a couch. The arm of a couch or pillows, and then keep those legs elevated, and you can turn a 20-minute nap into what feels like a 3-hour nap. It's amazing.
But it's really just 20 minutes.
Correct.
And it's all because, of course, once you make entry easier, the rest goes
It's much,
goes by
You
flag.
start
It's by flag.
disassociating.
That's
which is
right.
very
It's not
relaxing.
happening to me.
That's right.
Yes.
When you're in the military, you got to have quickies. You
That's
can't.
right.
Now, this is what I love. My show is making absolutely no sense. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Alex Williams says there's travel advisory on 85 in Duluth.
Yeah, crash that was just in 2 left center lanes, not really causing a big deal, has now blocked 3 to 4 left center lanes now that fire rescue's on scene, and we got a tow truck trying to clear it up. This is I-85 southbound, just before Pleasant Hill Road, so you're stacked up back toward Old Peachtree Road. Think about using Satellite Boulevard as an alternate. 85 northbound, it is still a slow ride out of Chamblee and Dorville, leaving 285 up into Norcross, and it's going to be even slower if you're traveling 285 northbound, the outer loop through Clarkston up into Tucker due to a long-standing crash on 285 northbound, the outer loop at Chamblee Tucker Road that has been impacting the right lane. I think we just found some new trouble on I-20 over on the east side of town, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's 20 westbound right at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. It's a crash. It knocks out one left lane, causing delays leaving Stonecrest. And eastbound rides, you're slow leaving I-285, getting past Panola Road. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's Pest-Free 365 service. To save $50 off your initial pest service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Is your summer vacation going to be a week at the beach or a week in the backyard standing in the kiddie pool?
If you listen to 95.5 WSB, that week at the beach could be yours. It's $1,000 Thursdays on WSB.
Your chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Thursdays.
Listen for the keyword. Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app within that hour.
Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays tomorrow,
From 95.5 WSB.
where Atlanta wins.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. You can't win if you don't enter. Enter now at overheaddooratlanta.com. That's overheaddooratlanta.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? but I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey, it's Belinda Skelton. I was at a barbecue where the bug spray was getting more action than the ketchup bottle. Hey, that wouldn't happen at my house. I use Arrow exterminators. Summer pests like mosquitoes, fire ants, and roaches don't stand a chance. Arrow's team members use effective, environmentally friendly solutions, and they've been family-owned for over 61 years. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com for your free pest inspection. And don't forget to tell them Belinda sent you.
Men, are you having problems performing in the bedroom? Do pills like Viagra and Cialis leave you feeling frustrated? Well, now there's new hope for men who suffer from ED and PE problems. Meet Dr. Katz, a specialist in men's health.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Katz with Choice Men's Health. Regardless of your age or medical condition, Choice Men's Health can safely restore your sexual potency. Our customized solutions can eliminate your problem in just one visit. There's no pain, no surgery, and it's affordable.
Guys, don't let the anxiety over your performance get you down. We can get you back in the game. Call Choice Men's Health today to find out how you can eliminate ED on the very first visit. Call 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
See, the reason we're not supposed to talk to them is because their governments lie. So you should just only listen to your government when it comes to foreign policy. Because as we know, your government never lies. Always the straight poop. When did that become a thing for...
straight poop.
You ever heard? Hey, I'm giving you the straight poop now.
Yeah.
When did that become a thing for truth? I'm not watering down this defecation.
Well, because it's the same thing as saying BS. BS and a straight poop are the same thing.
No, straight poop is truth.
Yeah, I know that, but in reality, those things, the straight poop and the BS are the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but then...
The BS is negative.
Gotcha, but it comes from a bull.
I know, but it's still...
The straight poop can
still
come from...
waste material.
Yes. So one becomes
Finding
truth and
some
one's...
information.
Yeah, why is it that bulls, we all do that, why is it bulls in particular are considered liars when they go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Sheep or cats or something, yeah.
Cats. Can we talk about cats?
Oxes?
Always lying.
Oxen? Oxes?
There's never been an honest cat. In
Oh,
the history of
my
cats.
cat is very
Let me tell you
nice.
something about
He's
your
so
cat.
sweet.
Let me tell you something about your cat.
He's
if
the
it was,
sweetest.
If your cat was bigger than you, your cat would
He would
eat
love
you,
me.
would
Yeah.
eat you.
He would
And
love
as soon
me.
as,
you.
as
He would
soon as
see
you
you
stop
as
feeding
food.
it, you're gone.
That's right.
No, he would love me forever.
All right, you delusional cat mom. J.D. Vance, this is what you're talking. He's about the cat moms. What about this guy?
Yeah.
He's a
cat dad.
He's a cat
I
dad.
have a cat dad.
All right, cat dad.
Never
I have
trust
two
a
cats.
guy
It's
with
kind of gotten to the
cats.
point when me and my wife, in the back of our minds, we would never just like, these two cats hurry up and,
Get it over with. Yeah.
Take him out back.
No,
Are
I'm
they
not
not
going to do anything like that. It's just that I think that we always have had two cats, and one will die, and we would have a younger cat, and then the older one, and we just kind of always keep two cats. And I think between the two of us, without really a conversation about it, we've decided these are the last two cats.
This is it.
They're not going to be replaced.
But what
once
about
they
the
go.
cute little kitten phase where they...
I love the cute little kitten phase. Turns out it's a tease.
Yeah, they turn into cats.
They turn into cats who I love when like you hear like a bunch of kittens downstairs running around. just running around, the patter, and it's like a Zen thing for me. It's like a
meditation
wind machine or something. I love it. And you think, oh, that cat is so cool. And you have to get rid of the other cats because you can't have 7 cats. And then you realize, it just grew up to be another cat that doesn't give a damn about anything other than itself.
Unlike Jared's cat, who just...
My cat's awesome.
So if you died, your cat wouldn't eat you if there was no food or anything?
No, my cat follows me from room to room. He loves being around me or Tina. Now, Tina is the spare human. I'm definitely the one that he prefers to be around.
Yeah, because you will indulge anything about the child. And you don't want to have real kids yet because you still want to go to festivals in summer.
Yeah,
so
you want to get drunk
you're
every night.
trying to convince your wife that this is our child.
It is our child. It is our fur baby.
Her clock is ticking. You're going to hear it soon. Yeah, she's going to say, come
It
on.
won't be long.
That's right.
Autumn, you wanted to go back to the etymology of something.
Well, the straight poop, I don't think is really the word, the phrase. It's the straight dope.
I always heard it as the straight poop growing up. Maybe it was in a different. Maybe it's regional.
It's a colloquialism, yes.
A colloquialism is what it is. Should
But
be worded
there
Okay.
is some information about possibly calling like the straight poop maybe having to do with like the Civil War, where certain troops ate corn more than others, and then they could see where they were based on what they left behind in their.
Wow. That makes sense. Hey,
that's a Union soldier.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
One of them corn eaters.
Hey, you use all the intelligence
right.
you can find, I guess. All right, give me a headline for Wellness Wednesday before we take a break.
Is everyone familiar with what a Brazilian butt lift is?
It's when you get your butt lifted in Brazil.
Right.
Right.
But now there's a tariff on it.
Yeah, there's
50%.
450% on Brazilian butts.
Oh,
But there's a problem with it.
Yes, there is a big problem with it.
When
It's,
you take the
All
fat.
right, well, we're just headlining.
Oh, we're just
here.
teasing. Okay.
We're just teasing.
I didn't know we were going
Did you hear the music in your head?
I thought you were
I
rushing.
gotta
I
teach you
didn't know.
every
I'm
walk
new
in
at
here
this.
every
I'm
week.
new at radio. I've never done this before.
Dr. Joe, we'll tell him what's going on with the BBL.
It's actually very interesting, actually. Yes.
Oh, is it? Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's a good tease.
Good tease.
People will stick around. If you would have said it's completely boring, I think maybe they wouldn't. Alex Williams says it's a rough ride through downtown.
Yeah, slow one this afternoon, Eric. About a half hour out of Buckhead on 400 South down to I-20. 75 South packs in right at Howell Mill Northside Drive. And the northbound ride, not much better. 75, 85 northbound, all brake lights from University Avenue up to Peachtree Pine Street. Got some better news for those of you traveling out of Lawrenceville or Suwanee toward Duluth. The crash is cleared. All lanes are back open. 85 southbound at Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Also, some better news on I-75 in Stockbridge, Kobe Dawkins.
That's correct. 75 northbound at Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224. Crash moved off to the left, so those delays back into McDonough should start to improve. And traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a Reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, and model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Ehrman. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
EMC Security.
When an alarm goes off at your home, every second counts. With EMC Security's remote video monitoring, once your alarm is triggered, our team can instantly monitor cameras you give us access to, assess the situation, and send appropriate information to first responders. Get real peace of mind, whether you're home or away. Get a free quote on video monitoring today at emcsecurity.com.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow. Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Imagine the relief of windows without annoying drafts or high energy bills. Window Comfort's making it easier than ever with buy two, get two free, no payments till 2026 and expert one-day installation. Go to windowcomfort.com for your no-pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
Ghost Skeletor World Tour 2025. Ghost, theatrical, heavy metal, arena rock. This Friday night, State Farm Arena. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Ghost.
Hey guys, you looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Well, get Advanced Hair's breakthrough one-day treatment during their once-yearly summer savings event. It's Mark Aaron back with you. Check this out. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. For details and free consultations, call 470-660-HAIR or online at advancedhair.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 5:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. A crash, then smoke billows into the sky after what appears to be a train collision in South Fulton. In fact, we now know that according to City of South Fulton Police, it was a train that slammed into a tractor trailer hauling a dump truck. City of South Fulton Police spokesperson Tori Cooper details just how bad it was and how bad the injuries are this hour.
2 individuals inside the train were injured. 2 individuals inside the tractor were injured. Of the 4 victims, 3 of them have serious injuries and 1 of them is in critical condition.
No word on their identities, and the cause of the crash remains under investigation. In Texas, the grueling search continues for the missing from deadly floods. Lieutenant Colonel Ben Baker of the Texas Game Warden says first responders are processing it all as best as they can this evening.
It's very tragic whenever you see human life. But to see a child and that loss of life is extremely tragic.
Meanwhile, the New Mexico mountain village of Ruidoso is preparing for another round of monsoon rains as it tries to dig out from historic flooding which killed a man and 2 children. All new this hour as President Trump considers expanding his travel ban to additional countries in Africa and the Caribbean. Some Georgia lawmakers are urging the administration to reconsider.
Members of the legislature's Georgia Africa Caucus say expanding the ban to an additional 36 countries will have an impact on business and would shut the door on some countries with deep humanitarian problems. State Representative El Mahdi Holly says they are sending a letter to Secretary of State Rubio.
We urge members of our communities collectively to take heart, even in a time of fear.
The administration says these additional countries may face the restrictions if they don't improve their screening practices. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
DeKalb County approves a 100-day moratorium on applications for new data centers.
County commissioners vote 4-3 on a temporary halt to allow for new policies and procedures to be drafted.
Staff would like time. I think they've asked for 100 days. That seems reasonable. The Community Council, Planning Commission cycle, August through September, that's great, right? And then we can take those recommendations.
Commissioner Ted Terry emphasizes this is not an expression of opposition, simply a pause to establish guidelines for applications. Data center demand is growing, but some worry about the environmental impact of such developments. The moratorium runs through October 16th. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's 20 years in prison for a Customs and Border Protection officer who used the cover of his job to smuggle cocaine from St. Thomas.
In January of 2020, he boarded a commercial flight from St. Thomas going to Atlanta with 16 kilos of cocaine in his carry-on bags.
Atlanta U.S. Attorney Teddy Hertzberg says 45-year-old Ivan Van Beverhout was caught by a K-9 officer who sniffed out the coke after Beverhout landed at Hartsfield-Jackson. And Hertzberg says his office will always prosecute those who abuse their law enforcement authority. Nearly 200 Democratic lawmakers are supporting a lawsuit against the Trump administration's use of emergency powers to impose tariffs. The president promised a lightning round of 90 deals in 90 days in worldwide trade negotiations back in April, but the 90 days have come and gone, and the tally of trade deals stands at 2, one with the United Kingdom and one with Vietnam. The president was asked if he'd consider tariffs on the 5 African nations whose leaders were at the White House today.
I haven't thought of it, but I don't know. Let's see, I like him, and him. No, I don't think so. Not too much. It's very good. These are friends of mine now.
Trump has now extended the deadline for negotiations to August 1st after sending letters to a list of countries declaring the new tariffs. The U.S. Supreme Court today rejects a request to allow for the enforcement of a new immigration law in Florida. Lawmakers passed that bill in February, making it illegal to be in Florida after illegally entering the country. Local police are tasked with enforcing it, but a federal judge blocked the measure, saying it is preempted by federal immigration law. It's 5:34. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Let's go back to the WSB 24-hour traffic center. That's where we're beginning our triple team traffic with Alex Williams.
Hey, Veronica, refreshing the ride to the northern suburbs. 75 northbound in Cobb County, starting in Marietta. On the brakes, starting right around Delk Road, on and off, all the way up to Chastain Road, exit 271 in Kennesaw, with 575 northbound a little sluggish from Bells Ferry up to Town Lake Parkway in Woodstock. Southbound, stalled a box truck in the center lane, 75 southbound in Marietta at Delk Road, exit 261. 400 northbound, brake lights through Sandy Springs from 285 up past the North Springs MARTA station, then sluggish again through Alpharetta. 85 northbound, on and off the brakes from Chamblee Tucker Road up toward Beaver Ruin. Southbound, better news if you're leaving Swanee or Lawrenceville. The crash 85 south at Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104 in Duluth has cleared. Checking the ride on I-20 through DeKalb County, it's Kobe Dawkins.
We're still dealing with some trouble. 20 westbound at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. It's a stall. It blocks one left lane, causing delays back to Lithonia Industrial Boulevard. Eastbound ride slow as well, leaving I-285 getting past Panola Road. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now, Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clear skies for this evening with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm moving through. Staying hot and humid with temperatures around 80 degrees as the sun goes down. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered pop-up storms, high near 90. Friday and Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered afternoon storms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Drying out on Sunday, but heating up through the afternoon, high 92.
Right now, it's 93 degrees in Winder, 92 in Woodstock, and 94 degrees this half hour on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 5:36. Next news coming up at 6 o'clock and breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Yeah, about 12, 13 years ago, I remember sitting in the house watching TV when I noticed that one of the walls looked different. It was a darker shade than the rest of the walls. Upon further investigation, it was soft and wet to the touch. You know, not having any plumbing in that area, there's only one real explanation. My roof was leaking.
Dave Baker for Finley Roofing, the roof guys.
So I needed a new roof. Like any major repair for my house, I checked out a bunch of companies. Only one company passed all my criteria, though, Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Finley Roofing was the perfect match when it came to getting a new roof. Turned out they really are the extra effort experts. They treated my home like it was their own, tearing off the old shingles, installing new ones. They were neat and cleaned everything up, and I didn't pay anything until the job was complete. Right now, Finley is offering upfront pricing, 0% financing, and a free roof analysis. When it comes to roofing issues, think of Finley first. See them on the web at finleyroofing.com.
Live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by Finley Roofing.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients lanes. You can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
All right, well, pull yourself out of that funk, Tim Andrews.
Oh, I'm fine with it. It's just the way things are.
He's very excited about this Superman movie.
Yeah, I know.
I've never watched one. I've never watched any.
You didn't watch the Christopher Reeve one?
Nope, never seen it. A couple of episodes of the 50s show when I was a kid, I saw in reruns.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been all that interested in Superman. But this is interesting that, so they changed. It used to be truth, justice, and the American way.
Yes.
And what is it for this movie?
In 2021, I found out they changed it to A Better Tomorrow. Truth, Justice, and A Better Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But now it's Truth, Justice, and the Human Way.
So here's my point of view is that I've never watched I don't care. But it's just hilarious to see that it just won't stop. The story, this particular story, as I understand it, is that, he crashes into some cornfield, where in Nebraska or something? Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Smallville, Kansas. And he's treated so well that he loves the country so much that he crashed into that he wants to preserve the values of that country. Now, if you don't like that story anymore, what I would say is write a better one. Rather than, that embarrasses us now. I mean, I think it's kind of corny too, to be honest with you, but I'm not into Superman. I don't care. But it's just funny to watch that these screenwriters don't care if they put movies completely out of business. I mean, they just don't care. You got James Gunn, talking about how Superman is an immigrant story. No, it's not. Superman's the Superman story is what it is. By the way, no one is supposed. Here's a good point for the screenwriters. No one is actually supposed to relate to a superhero. No one is supposed to believe, oh, I can do that. They're oddities.
I don't know. Kryptonite does make me itch.
Okay, you could be taken away. But I'm just saying this whole idea that we want girls to believe that they can put on capes and fly around. Well, they can't. Just like boys can't. You're not supposed to be able to relate to Superman. Oh, his story is my story as an immigrant. No. It's a weird, bizarre story about an alien from space who crash lands in a cornfield. That's what it is. You want to do a modern telling of that story, or would you like to write another story?
Yeah, an alien lands
It's
in New
probably
York.
be better. It'll probably be better. Yeah, he lands in New York, and he becomes the next mayor. And food is free.
And at its core, it's a messianic story that was created in the 30s.
That's why it's so hard to write for. People hate writing Superman stories because there's no arc.
Right.
He's perfect. That's why there's only one thing that can hurt him in the entire universe, and for some reason he just can't stop bumping into it. Because if you're a writer, you're not going to be, I'm going to write one without kryptonite. It's like, there's nothing else. There's no arc. It's not possible. He's a godlike figure.
The only two major arcs I remember from the 80s and 90s are one, he got married, and that was written by John Byrne. And then the second one is they killed him in 1993. He got killed by this creature named Doomsday.
Uh-huh.
But then he came back to life.
Of course. And that's
he
not
also struggled with whether he should turn back time to save Lois.
Yeah, in the movie.
When in the movie.
But he did.
Yeah.
But
is that when I did see that scene. He
flew
flies
around
around
the
the
world,
world 7 times backward.
Mm-hmm.
It always freaked me out when she was like getting covered up by the dirt because she fell into like a crevasse.
Yes.
But people love this story. It never enticed
I love
me.
the movie.
It never enticed me. That movie was so big when I was like 13 years old with Christopher
He
Reeve.
winks at me.
Does he? Okay, well, you were obviously starting to explore certain aspects of life at that age that maybe were slightly new to you.
Well, if you do watch it, watch the Donner cut. That's the one that everybody loves.
The Donner cut? Richard
Jeffrey
Donner?
Dahmer?
Yes. No, not Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That one's actually shorter. It's only like 13 minutes long. Superman shows up, eats, cannibalizes the entire.
Don't open up Superman's fridge. Don't do it. Whatever you do.
You want some, Lois?
We promised a tease. What was that before we went?
It was about the Brazilian butt lift, or
Yes.
the BBL.
Autumn, have you got one of these yet?
Any day now.
Okay.
Well, you may want to think twice.
Apparently,
oh, man, they stink, right?
The smell is real and just as gross as it sounds, right, Dr. Joe?
Yes. With the Brazilian butt lift, they liposuction fat out of one part of your body and they inject it into your butt. To make
What could go wrong?
Nothing, right? Well, what happens is too much butt fat is packed into this one little area, and there's not enough blood vessels to support it. You need blood to bring nutrients, carry
Right.
waste products, and so the fat begins to, what's called necrosis. The fat begins to rot.
Basically die.
It
right?
dies, yes, and then you.
And then what does that seep out of your pores?
I guess yeah, skin is permeable, so it comes out, and then you can build up. You know, you have so much tissue there, you can get folds in that, and you can get Famunda cheese in there
Yes,
as
but
well.
hold on.
Uh-huh.
Let's look at the other side.
Uh-huh.
You no longer have a flat ass.
That's true.
Hell
Pros
yeah,
and
that's all that
cons.
matters.
That's true.
I saw a video of a woman that had gotten a BBL, and she was complaining about her sit-down wind. 'Cause it was so rainy.
Oh, when she sits, it like stinks.
Oh,
It's like sitting on a whoopee cushion.
She was saying the incisions were
Wait,
seeping.
so it comes out it comes out the same. It's like farting.
Well,
that's
no,
not coming out of the pores.
No,
it's just coming out of her wounds and.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Yeah.
like sit-down wind.
Like it's just the air, is pushed out from around you.
Couldn't you just walk or
better,
run
right?
more if you don't like your behind?
Yeah, I mean, you can build it a little bit, but I mean, the BB, the Brazilian butt lift.
This is like way up there, like Kardashian.
Yeah, you can put a
type of
drink
thing.
on it and stuff.
So
yeah,
does she stink? Does she have one?
I
right?
bet you she stinks. Yeah.
No, she had all that stuff taken out, so her butt is small.
Oh, it's not up there like it was in that.
I didn't know she had
that
a
Vanity Fair shoot where they had like
that's all.
champagne rolling down.
They
her.
all got their butts out. Chloe.
Oh.
Kim.
Hey, it's time for butts out.
Butts
All
out.
right, folks.
Sun's out, fun's out.
Put 'em out. 11:30. Butts out.
But don't some of them use silicon?
You can use
Silicon?
silicon, yes. I know somebody I know personally had the silicon put in because her husband wanted a bigger butt. And
Wow, did he gift that to her as a gift?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you paid for it or not.
Here you go, honey. Surgery to make me like you more.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Only way I'm going to like you more. But it actually looks so weird. It doesn't fit her
course
body,
it-
I
well,
mean,
all of it is really. It looks weird on Kardashian. It's just that we're
Yes.
used to it. It's
Uh-huh.
just, of course, it's bizarre
So,
behavior.
Dr. Joe, you don't do that in the office? You don't do BBLs?
no, we're going to have a new supplement you can take for that.
I beat on you with a baton until your butt swells.
Look out for the chiropractors pretty soon. I saw a story today that AI massagers, like people are going to massage things now that is just a machine. And
Oh.
it's better than humans because it doesn't get tired.
Uh-huh.
And
Doesn't get fresh or anything?
Doesn't get
Doesn't
fresh.
do insurance fraud or anything?
I
Yeah.
think
I'm not interested.
The NFL is now going to require every quarterback use an AI massager
Ah.
so they don't get in trouble anymore. Alex Williams has better news on 285 and Tucker.
That's right, Eric. That long-standing crash out of the roadway, 285 northbound, Chamblee Tucker Road, exit number 33. So that's helping out the ride improve from Highway 78 to Stone Mountain Freeway. East and southbound still slow through Doraville, starting right around Buford Highway as you make your way southbound toward Clarkston. Going to break free once you get down toward Covington Highway. 285 westbound, the outer loop on the north side jams in from Ashford Dunwoody Road over to Riverside Drive. Then you pack in again right there at I-75 in the Truist Park region in Cobb County. Then stay on and off the brakes as you make your way southbound through Smyrna Vinings down to I-20, the West Freeway. Better news on I-75 in Marietta, Kobe Dawkins.
That's correct. 75 south, right at Delk Road, exit 261. Stalled box truck cleared. However, heavy volume remains starting at Highway 5, getting to I-285. And northbound rides remain slow, starting at Delk Road, getting into Ackworth to Highway 92. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
What would you do with $1,000 this summer?
Hotel, pool, week at the beach, cabin in the woods.
Whatever you want to do this summer,
WSB has $1,000 to make it happen.
$1,000 Thursdays gives you the chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app within that hour.
You could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays tomorrow.
From 95.5 WSB, where Atlanta wins.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated doors. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Get $200 cash for your old entry door too. It's cashed for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404 US say door.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Right now, select varieties are only $2.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is Monica Pearson from My Plumber Superior Plumbing. The owner, Jay Cunningham, has been serving Atlanta for almost 40 years. They are Atlanta's plumber. Most other plumbing companies have been purchased by private equity conglomerates. Superior Plumbing is entrenched in the community, but the reason I chose Superior Plumbing is that they respect your time with on-time appointments and quality work done right the first time.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-4222.
It's still the greatest form of advertising, word of mouth. If we could bottle it and sell it, we'd be rich. But we can't. That's what keeps it honest. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons. From garage doors to entry doors to windows, for every opening of your home, we've got you covered. Talk to your neighbors. Chances are we've worked on their home. They'll tell you all about their 5-star experience with All Four Seasons. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade. You've heard me talk for years about how Myland is saving homeowners hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month. Well, here's something that comes up often. Does it make sense to refinance your mortgage and pay off high-interest credit card debt? Well, even if you have a low interest rate on your mortgage, that isn't helping you if you're carrying credit card debt month to month. Myland sees this every day where people call in and wish they had done something sooner. Holding on and making minimum payments on your credit cards is only making the situation worse. There isn't one solution for everyone, which is why I trust and believe in my friends at Myland. They'll shoot straight and give you an honest assessment for you and your family at no cost. Do yourself a favor. Give Myland a call. Find out how much you could be saving. 770-817-2000. Call 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports? The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Shut up, Joe. It's time to talk.
I'm sorry.
All right, we have limited time here with Dr. Joe, so let's make sure we have a story, a Wellness Wednesday story that's worth it.
Well, if you're looking for better workout results, you need to match your exercise to your personality, a new study suggests.
What if your personality is you don't exercise? Then you're perfectly healthy.
They didn't cover that. Yeah.
Given this. What does this mean? I don't know what this means.
Well, if you're an extrovert, you like more high-intensity stuff. And if you're an introvert, you want to maybe not do stuff like that, maybe work out at home. And
not be walking through the neighborhood or joining a gym.
Yeah.
Are there any specific exercises that are...
No, just a style of exercise.
Oh, I see.
Like if you're neurotic... You're probably going to not want to be, doing team sports or anything like that because you're afraid people are watching you.
That's
and
right.
Stuff like that, So it depends.
So you wouldn't see Eric playing kickball with me tonight later?
I don't think so. No, why not, though?
Because it's not even a real game.
But
kickball.
It's not a sport. It's a reason to drink.
Okay, I get that. But he's going to walk away telling me he got to get good exercise.
I ran the bases.
Listen,
I'll run the bases.
Everything needs to be, in order for something to be a sport or an actual competition, it has to be difficult for somebody. So somebody else can come along and be good at it. No one strikes out at kickball. No
I've
one.
seen it
But if
happen.
you do, yeah, you miss the
In
ball, land on your
elementary
butt.
school.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so some kid who has no coordination or something. But these are all,
Yeah. Moderately
what I
physically
call
fit.
fading millennials over
Yes.
here.
Fading millennials. I remember.
Youth is slipping away, and it's so funny to watch the millennials. So,
Hey, the great thing
hey,
about-
you're 40 now. How come the world didn't change? 20 years ago, you were telling us it was going to be different, and you were going to. What happened?
The great thing about our kickball
You just
group-
got married to the hottest person that would have sex with you, and just like before, and the world's in a bigger mess now than it was before the millennium. Can you agree on that? World's a bigger mess now than it was before the millennials.
I would say yes to that.
See, you
We have
guys
Gen
told
Zers in our group, though, too.
told us that we older people were so lucky that you came along because you understand and you get how the world should be, and you're not wrapped up in all these old notions. And now look at the world; it's absolutely upside down.
Well, you have
and
to let
worse than
go
it
of
was when
power.
you found
You got to
it.
allow us to come and take over.
The
We're gonna be-
boomers do. Eric's a Gen Xer.
I'm a
Eric
boomer.
is
I'm
a
the
boomer.
last year. I'm a cusper.
and
1964.
technically, Autumn is a millennial because
Kind of
I'm a
response
younger
is that?
millennial. And I think
I think of you as Gen X.
I think-
well, yeah, I can go either way. I'm 1964.
You're AC/DC.
George is the youngest millennial, I believe.
Are
I'm
you
a millennial?
Yeah, technically he's like right on the cusp of Gen Z, but he's one of the youngest millennials.
All right. Well, I don't count you because you never walked around touting. Yeah, I'm sure most millennials can't stand you.
Oh, that's
with your love of Alex Jones.
Oh, you haven't seen George with his beard oil and stuff? My beard oil.
That's why generations are stupid. I was born in 1964. I don't have any connection with people who were born in 1948 or 1952. It's an idiotic thing, and we never really used to talk about it before the baby boom.
Yeah, and they change it too.
Yeah,
right?
we had to go back and name generations that weren't named.
Yeah.
They weren't called in 1938 or 1941. They weren't saying, "Yeah, I'm a part of the greatest generation." Nobody was saying that.
Can Tom Brokaw come up with that?
He did. Wrote a book.
And then that author came up with Generation X.
Yeah. Well, there's the whole and the baby boomer. That was a thing that was real because there was a baby boom. I find it difficult to believe that my mother got pregnant in 1964. It had something to do with the soldiers coming home from
World War II,
in 1945.
Well, consider this an open invite, Eric. My hand is extended to you. If you would like to come play kickball with me, you are more than welcome to get active. I know Dr. Joe would be
Okay,
very
are you
happy.
extending your hand?
Yeah, I'm extending your
All right, now turn it a little bit. Okay. You got it wide open?
Okay.
All right, hold on. I got
I got something for you right here.
Even Dr. Joe would say, Eric could use a little kickball in his life.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No one needs kickball in their lives. All right, Dr. Joe, tell people how they can get more Dr. Joe.
Sunday nights right here, 8 to 10. Love to have you join me on my show. If you have any health questions or you want to make an appointment, go to drjoe.com. I want to be your doctor.
Yeah, if you have any health questions, don't bother me.
No,
Get in
send,
touch with
send
Joe.
them to me, yeah.
Alex Williams sees brake lights through the work zone on I-20 in DeKalb.
Yeah, I-20 eastbound, just off the phone with one of our traffic troopers, and he says it's a slow ride in that work zone. 20 eastbound leaving 285, just trying to get out to exit 71 Panola Road. 20 westbound in recovery mode because we had a crash clear out of the left lane at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. If you're coming out of Oxford, the Covington region out in Newton County, crash blocking all lanes 20 westbound at Highway 278. You can use Old Atlanta Highway or Highway 278 as your alternates there. Checking I-20 on the west side of town, it's Kobe Dawkins.
And it's very slow. I-20 eastbound leaving Lithia Springs, starting at Thornton Road, getting to I-285. And westbound rides, you're on and off the brakes, leaving I-285, getting past Thornton Road. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Mosquito bites are the worst, but beyond the bite, mosquitoes are disgusting little germ factories that sometimes carry viruses. Dave Baker here for Breda Pest Management. It's time to quit your itching, be the superhero for your family, and eliminate mosquito-borne viruses in your yard with one call to Breda. If mosquitoes return within 30 days, only Breda will come back and retreat for free. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. WSB's top local story.
What is this tax increase for?
Fulton County residents have been giving county commissioners an earful over a proposed property tax hike, and the next meeting for them to sound off is beginning right now.
Fulton County commissioners are proposing a property tax hike of nearly 13%, and that's not going over very well with some residents like Jamie Parrish.
That's hundreds of dollars pulled from kitchen tables across Fulton County. People are already stretched thin between rising mortgages, utilities, groceries, insurance, and now you want $80 million more?
The proposed hike applies to all property owners regardless of whether they claim a homestead exemption. The commission is set to vote on the 2025 millage rate on August 6th. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's 93 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards expects the pop-up showers and storms you may be seeing today to sort of continue into the evening. Otherwise, we'll see mostly clear skies later and lows in the mid 70s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. New this afternoon, the Marietta School Board today votes to keep the millage rate flat. That means a property tax increase of less than 1%. A board member says they want to keep the district competitive in the labor market by being able to give raises to teachers. This would bring the school system just under $85 million. DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston calls it a tragic case in so many ways. This is a story all new tonight. A Stockbridge teen sentenced to life for shooting and killing a 16-year-old schoolmate at IHOP. This happened in 2023 when Jakari Childs was just 16, as was his victim, Jacob Johnson. Johnson was the best friend of Childs' ex, and he was shot in the IHOP parking lot when Childs came looking for the girl.
My hope is that people will hear this story and talk to the teenagers in their lives about conflict resolution and that resorting to violence is never the answer.
DeKalb County Superior Court Judge Stacey Heydrich sentenced Childs to life with the possibility of parole plus 6 years consecutive. With the high-profile events that we all know and love comes stepped-up security, and Cobb County law enforcement say they are ready ahead of next week's All-Star Game at Truist Park.
With thousands of fans expected in and around the area, Cobb County Public Safety Director Mike Register says expect to see more law enforcement around the Battery.
We have various operational centers down here within the Battery, Truist Park, and Galleria area, plus we have our real-time crime center that we're using extensively for this.
Register says they've been meeting sometimes twice a week with federal agency partners leading up to the game. Officials say the goal is to ensure everyone has a fun and safe experience. At Truist Park, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Residents in Alpharetta might notice slower than usual trash collection as a sanitation worker strike continues.
It involves Teamsters members with Republic Services, but Alpharetta City Manager Chris Lagerbloom says they've been working with the company on contingency plans for the last week or so.
We're hoping there's no major impacts either in the short term or the long term, although anything can happen in the future.
He says for now they're advising residents to continue putting trash bins on the curb on normal pickup days, but leave them out until crews can get to them. Union members with Republic say they're walking the picket line until they get a better contract and fair wages. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
We now know that 4 people have been injured as a train runs into a tractor trailer hauling a dump truck this afternoon in the city of South Fulton. Police spokeswoman Tori Cooper says that 4 people were injured, 2 on the train and 2 on the truck.
2 individuals inside the train were injured. 2 individuals inside the tractor were injured. Of the 4 victims, 3 of them have serious injuries and 1 of them is in critical condition.
The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Qualifying officers transferring into the Atlanta Police Department can now receive a signing bonus of $10,000.
The Atlanta Police Foundation announcing the incentive as part of a larger effort to recruit experienced talent and reduce crime citywide.
This bonus is 100% privately funded. This was made possible through our business community and our donors who also believe in what we do.
Support Programs Director Curtis Lean Bass says the program applies to veteran officers with at least 2 years of on-the-job experience. The Build the Force initiative also offering support like housing aid, mental health resources, and scholarships. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
6:04, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. First, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
And checking the ride on I-85 northbound toward Gwinnett County, Veronica. Still seeing the brake lights out of Chamblee and Dorville from Chamblee-Tucker Road up toward about Beaver Ruin. That's where you really break free. And then a few more taps of the brakes into Swanee up to the 985 split. 400 northbound, still slow in Sandy Springs from 285 up to the North Springs MARTA station. 75 northbound, thinning out, just some moderate volume between Marietta and Kennesaw. And the southbound ride, pretty jammed up from Delk Road where that earlier stall cleared. Most of that traffic's just slow trying to get onto 285 there by Truist Park. How are things looking through downtown Atlanta, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, slow rides remain. 75-85 northbound, seeing the brake lights pack in at Langford Parkway, getting past Peachtree, Pine Street. 85 southbound, heavy volume stretching from the Georgia 400 merge. And 75 south, those delays begin before Howell Mill Road, both of those getting to I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
And now, Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies for this evening with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm moving through. Staying hot and humid with temperatures around 80 degrees as the sun goes down. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered pop-up storms, high near 90. Friday and Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered afternoon storms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Drying out on Sunday, but heating up through the afternoon, high 92.
It's 91 degrees right now in Avondale Estates, 90 in Alpharetta, and it's 94 degrees in Atlanta's Midtown at 6:06. More news at 6:30, breaking news when it happens, and the Von Hessler Doctrine beginning again for you right now. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Hold on, I want to say, we are going to play an open mic. And Jared is like, earlier, he was like, this guy called an open mic, but he's mean. I don't know if you want. I'm like, I'm not interested. I really am. I'm tired of all the debate, arguing, and it all sounds like that to me.
That guy sounded like it too. He said that Biden deleted the Epstein list. That's
Right.
why there's nothing for Trump to release.
And he says it like I have the information in front of me now. He doesn't say it like I've heard people say this. I have seen the information myself. Yeah, Biden, who couldn't figure out how to get from the helicopter back to the damn.
We gotta delete all this crap.
He got all the passwords and the logins. But mostly it's about tone. But I don't want you to think that you can only play the good, fun people.
Of course.
But for the most part, if they're kissing my behind, they've got a place on this show.
Dang, Eric, lighten up, buddy.
Hey! Yeah, well, he pulled the old switcheroo.
That's right. Well, no, this
Isn't that
was
what you were criticizing Trump about earlier?
What?
Don't come at me with your logic.
What? What was I criticizing? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Okay.
We'll call it even.
Okay, let's call the whole thing off.
It's a wash.
It's a wash.
All right, see, you always got to start. I'm always wrong.
Wash.
Hey, y'all.
All right.
Hey, y'all. Just wanted to say you guys are my favorite show on the radio to listen to when I'm sitting in traffic. Have a good one.
Oh, thank
Look at
you.
that. Short,
That's
sweet,
very nice.
easy.
That's what we're here for.
Not when I'm having a good time, but when I'm sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
You guys
When
are
I-
in their car.
When I have no other choice.
My wife and I are having sex. I listen to Shelley.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
Take your watch
You people, for heaven's sakes. This is a family show.
Dang, Eric, lighten up, buddy.
I am trying to protect the children out there.
Come on, man, lighten up. You got Greg on hold.
Oh, that's right. I don't.
Oh, shoot.
I went to Greg yesterday and he wasn't there. Let's see if it
That's
works
what I was
today.
going to say. I heard
Yes.
that. You
Yeah.
can't keep it straight. Yesterday, I'm not on the show. Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
what's going on? I'm not there today.
I got confused. Did I tell you that I did yesterday's show on about 2.5 hours sleep? So I got a little confused.
No
The fact that I was
excuses.
able to make any sense whatsoever, I think I should be in the Hall of Fame. Well, I don't know.
Why
What,
so
I don't know.
little
I don't know
sleep?
which one, but just
What's
any
going
Hall
on?
of Fame. Huh?
What's keeping you from sleeping?
Oh, just just fear of the world. No, I'm just
Global
an
warming.
idiot. I'm just an idiot, and I told myself, don't worry about it. Keep enjoying yourself, have fun. You'll sleep until noon, and then I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I can't go back to sleep. That's what happened. So there you go. You have restless nights, Greg Russ, or are you like one of these guys lights out? Boy, you just like lay down and boom, it's over.
I sleep pretty well. I don't go to sleep early. I go to sleep around 3 a.m. and then
Well,
I wake up
see-
8 something, so I'm not getting as much sleep as I probably should.
Yeah,
you
see,
work?
When I went to sleep that like the night before last at about 3:30, and I thought, well, I'll sleep until
It's
noon.
great, though. Being up late is nice.
It is. It is. It is. It's that you just don't. The rest of the world is asleep, and that means you cannot be bothered. It's almost even if somebody you know dies and they don't live real close to you, they'll probably wait in the morning. The relatives will probably wait till the morning to send you a text. You know what I mean? That time between like midnight and 3 is really a time where people are probably not going to intrude on your life at all. It's like kind of wide open.
I'll text people that late.
Oh, I won't do that. I won't even.
I think I sent Tim Andrews a text. Pretty
I feel
late
weird if I
night.
text somebody at like 1 o'clock.
You don't ever say you don't ever send the booty call text you up at 1 o'clock?
Yeah,
That's why I sent Tim. Tim, what time was that? It was like 1:30. I texted you
Last
Booty
night?
call text.
You say,
No,
what,
two,
you up?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, yeah, but then I reply in the morning. Like if I wake up at 4 or something, I have to go to the bathroom and I see it, I'll just
Yeah,
wait.
he doesn't wait either. See, I just bank on people having their phones turned off, which maybe is wrong. On the show, how many people are sleeping with the phone alert on?
my alerts are off.
I put on the do not disturb around like
Exactly,
1
so I
a.m.
can text anytime.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't, because you get that smug message. This phone is. Just, you don't need to tell me that you're not. I just assume that it's.
They're being responsible.
I feel weird communicating it after midnight. I just feel like a creep if I'm talking to
'Cause we
anybody
grew
about
up
anything.
with the
right?
phone.
Yeah, I mean when I was on social media when I was on the regular guys or whatever. Sometimes like on a Friday night into Saturday, like I'd be up at like 1:30 or something, and like I would like somebody would like reach out or something like that. And I was like, I'm not talking to you at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's weird.
Because it invites a conversation and you're not ready for that.
But I just like, what are we going to talk about at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Exactly.
We
You don't
even,
want
I don't
Good
even
stuff.
know you. I don't even
Good
know
stuff.
you.
If you're friends, like if you text me at 1:30 in the morning, it's probably going to be something interesting.
Yeah, like, hey, man, can you? My wife's not here, and my heart's not feeling good. Can you call somebody?
I mean, that would be
I
part
thought
of it.
that was
or-
going a different direction.
Yeah, or one of these weird things
That's
you're thinking
that's
about.
a long way to go over a booty call from Atlanta to New York City at 1
My
o'clock in
wife's
the
not
morning.
here.
Hey, can you
Hey.
jump on a red eye?
Hey, it doesn't have to be in person.
You
People
remember
have gone
me in
further.
the ice storm in Atlanta? I'd get down
Oh, it is true, man. When that was what I learned, that there is no motivator like the libido. No motivator. Because this guy, during the snowpocalypse, went and
of 2014.
went
January
out
2014.
went out my car, which we had to abandon.
All-wheel drive. That thing did wonderfully. It's all the other idiots on the road who couldn't
Yeah.
handle it.
Well, we had a little trouble getting out of a couple parking lots there at the beginning, but we'd abandoned the car. About 8 o'clock at night, he decides, "No, I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna go see this girl that I'm." And then a couple years later, I think, we became the only person I've ever blocked from my phone. Ever. I've only blocked one person ever from my phone, and it turned out to be the person that he was willing to brave snowpocalypse.
Hey.
How long did it take you to get from Roswell to the city?
Oh, hours, 5, because it was the rest of the traffic. It was the rest of the traffic that's blocking everything, and people
Yeah.
had smashed into other people's bumpers, and I had to do a lot of maneuvering. Probably took 4 hours, I think.
You probably had some real.
I don't know if it was worth it.
It'd be a shame if you got there and she's like,
Yeah. I took care of it
But
myself.
it was very early. It was like it was very early, and they just met.
1 week in.
Yeah, they were enamored with each other, and it was a different time. Like she wasn't even blocked on my phone.
Are you is that the one who called you a reductionist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
if
well, she's
anybody,
the one
if anybody
Go
talks
ahead.
to me with sociology 101 professor speak, you get blocked from my phone.
She told me I was a racist because I was flying to India, and I said that I was worried to fly over the Middle East.
Yeah, that obviously makes you. Yeah, she's smart. I liked her, but she was over. When the millennial, what I was just talking about, we're better than any generation, and we're just more enlightened. And you're just watching what they're doing. You go, hey, you're not that much smarter than anybody else. And
that was only 10 years ago.
And she had that whole thing going, and she was really cool. But then there's that other side of it where all of a sudden they start, letting you know what you've done wrong. All of a sudden they become hall monitors. You said this word. Yeah, I got news from you. From my generation, I don't give a damn.
There was
I said a word that upset you, and you care, but here's the deal. I don't. What were you saying, Greg?
There was a lot of Eric has a responsibility because he's on the radio. And
Yeah,
he needs to be aware of that and not just say these things.
Yeah, and I think she got mad at me. The reason I blocked her when the reductionist thing is because somebody who was a fan of the show, because she came, somebody was mean to her online or something. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that happened, but what do you want me to do? Like, she was holding me responsible. Has anybody ever tuned in and heard Eric Von Hessler tell anybody to harass anyone? No. Well, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility not to be a
jerk.
A jerk. Yes, exactly. If the word jerk started with the letter B.
Burke?
Yeah. You can't be a Burke. Yeah, you have a responsibility not to be a Burke. All right, Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285, not for his own pleasure. He's doing it for you.
Absolutely, Eric. 285 eastbound. The inner loop starting to thin out through Dunwoody, but we're still seeing a few brake lights leaving Ashford Dunwoody Road over to Peachtree Boulevard. A lot of that right lane traffic trying to get onto Peachtree Boulevard. You stack up again heading southbound through Tucker from I-85 down toward Memorial Drive, but that ride is starting to improve. 285 north and southbound over on the west side on and off the brakes between I-20 and the Smyrna Vinings area. How's 285 westbound heading toward Truist Park, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's slow leaving Sandy Springs, starting at Georgia 400, getting to I-75. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's Pest-Free 365 service. To save $50 off your initial pest service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not if you win $1,000 from WSB.
It's WSB's $1,000 Thursdays tomorrow.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBRadio.com or the WSB app within that hour, and you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays
from 95.5 WSB.
where Atlanta wins.
When insurance companies play games, the strong arm wins. Hey, it's Smiler Mark McKay. Hurt in a wreck? The insurance companies will toy with you and try to pay you the least amount possible. John Foy knows how to beat them at their own game. Zero upfront cost. JohnFoy.com.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
BYOM. Bring your own milk. That way you don't have to worry if there isn't any milk. Why? Because you brought it. Speaking of bringing it, you know, on Monday we did the Monday edition of Stories from Studio B1, and we didn't get to one single story. I don't want to make that mistake again. Do you have any other stories from Studio B1?
Did you talk in detail? I heard you mention the world's largest time capsule that was opened in Nebraska.
I just mentioned it. I thought it was silly because it's not from long enough. It doesn't interest
50
me.
years ago, 1975, it was buried with a Chevy Vega.
Yeah, I was 11
Keel
years old.
Suit, pet rocks.
Yeah.
But they opened this thing, and people are excited because there were people who were young who put letters in there, cassette tape, for example, a family recorded, and they come back 50 years later. The kid who was 10 is now 60 and says, "Look at this, my letter's still here. Nothing I wrote on that letter came true."
Yeah, what a letdown. I'm not what I said I was going to be, am I?
I'm going to marry Susan Day.
If you... I'm sure nobody got that.
Somebody did.
I'm going to marry Susan Day. I'm such a fan. I know her last name's spelled with an E. But yeah, I just didn't like that they were talking about the stuff in there. Yeah, I saw Chevys like that. I had a pet rock. To me, if you opened up a time capsule from 200 years ago, then I'd be interested. I don't know. I just thought people were going crazy over it. And the reason it made me think of the fact that it's too soon to really get crazy about this, 75 was it's not that different. I mean, it's very different than now, but it's not so much, not the way it would be if you opened up one from 1850 or something like that. You know, I realized it because somebody in the article said, well, I didn't realize my parents would still be alive. It was great. We all went back together. It's like, well, who's gaining anything from this?
Maybe for America 250, we'll find that George Washington created a time capsule.
Stop normalizing that word.
He put his teeth in it.
Maybe he put his teeth in it or something like that. For America 250, George Washington made his own time capsule.
If all the founding fathers got together and put a time capsule in the ground,
so maybe like
in
I
don't know, 1790 or something, and then we opened it up now, I'd be very interested. But it's like, so you made a cassette of your voices and you put it in the time capsule. But I'm supposed to believe there isn't another cassette that you made that made it all the way through? Like they were acting like, now I can hear my voice when I was young and I can hear my parents' voice when they were young again. It's like, so you had a tape recorder and you were taping things back in 1975 and then you just stopped when you put this thing in there. So I don't even believe these stories. These people have tapes from then, obviously.
That's assuming it even works. They did say that most of the letters and tapes were preserved, but about 20% of them are covered in a slime.
I have a tape from 52 years ago that plays.
Yeah, it's probably a little...
I have a tape.
Oh, sounds pretty good.
She has a tape.
Guys, I have a tape too, and
She
it's
has
old too.
Yeah, is it?
Tapeworm.
Yeah.
Tapeworm.
That's my tapeworm, and he and I are friends.
Yeah, well, you should be friends because, he eats what you don't need.
That's right. It's a symbiotic relationship.
That's right.
I didn't.
That's what
She
I
did
tell
it on
myself.
purpose to maintain the weight.
If you get along with your tapeworm, you realize that it's like, okay, I'll let you eat first, and then whatever's left over.
And it's segmented, so if some comes out, you can just rip it off.
Yeah.
And it'll still be alive.
That's right. Yeah, well, that's how worms are.
It can rip in half. and
Worms
still
are
live.
weird, man. Yeah.
Worms are so weird.
I had a dog with worms once when I was a kid. Been this period of time.
Ew.
74, 75. It's heartbreaking.
Is ringworm a real worm?
No.
Huh? No.
The ringworm's a fungus.
No, this was, he was going, I saw him going to the bathroom and it was just worms.
Ew.
coming out.
Ew.
Yeah, awful.
That's awful.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Just worms?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Did that ever leave your brain? Like
No,
anytime?
I'm 61. It happened in 1974.
What
It's
I
in my
mean-
brain like it was yesterday.
What I mean is something like that.
What's that
Something
say?
like that for me is if I saw a dog, anytime I watch a dog go to the bathroom, I would think of that for the rest of my life.
Well, my problem is with if I let myself think about just some of the, in any way, just all the tragedy in the world, I've in my lifetime, I've seen a couple of really, stray, just discarded dogs. Like I've seen them, and they never leave my mind because I think that's just got to be the most lonely thing in the world. You're a dog and you're what?
Why didn't you adopt? You
I was a
should've gone
kid when I saw this.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
this
much
is-
agency.
Well, I thought you mentioned multiple occasions. I didn't know
Yeah.
if one had happened recently or not.
I still see the scrawny dogs we saw in Jamaica with the huge nipples.
Oh. Well, that's because you had a relationship with them.
I love their nipples.
They were nice. No, but remember they were just wandering everywhere, and they had all.
I
had
never left the
litters.
resort, man.
When we drove there, you saw them everywhere.
I had my eyes closed.
You did. You didn't like the van.
Oh my! That trip
Zipping
from
along.
going 800 miles an hour on the wrong side of the road.
No man, the right side of the road.
And I always think about that because you got to get from the airport. You're either going to one or two of the resort towns, and it's like an hour drive in the bus. I think, as I recall.
You just fly into Kingston, right? And then you just go to one of the different places.
I guess you'll be flying wherever the big airport is. My understanding from the radio that I was listening to in the resort is you didn't want to be in Kingston at that time. There was some stuff going down. I don't know if that's the same now, but it was then. But my whole time I was thinking, if I wanted to start a revolution in this country, I would step out in front of one of these buses, make them stop, because it's like rich people and, relatively, a lot of middle-class people are going to Jamaica, but from the point of view of a lot of people who are living there, they're wildly rich. They're coming in, and then they have to go through all the poor parts to get to the resort where they're pampered. And so I was just always thinking in my mind, like if I was some kind of Jamaican revolutionary, this is where I would start. I'd step in the middle of the road with a machine gun. I'd stop the bus, and people would start listening to me.
There's still time, Eric, if you want to be a Jamaican
I'm
revolutionary.
saying my point of view was, let's get there. Oh my, please, let's get there. I don't like resorts. I felt like I was staying in Disneyland or something. Alex Williams says it's still a slow ride through downtown.
Yeah, we're still watching the rough ride into downtown. Eric, 400 southbound, still on the brakes from Lenox Road, about 25 minutes from there for the ride down to I-20. The Beaufort Spring connector is also bumper to bumper from Sidney Marcus Boulevard, trying to ramp onto I-85 south there in the Midtown area. Northbound, you're on the brake, 75-85 from University Avenue up toward the Peachtree Pine Street area, and heads up heading to the airport. Got a crash right now. They're holding two right lanes. Just saw a tow truck pull up on scene. Hopefully they'll clear it. 85 southbound at Virginia Avenue. You're starting to slow back towards Sylvan Road and Cleveland Avenue. If you'd like, you can always use Highway 29 or I-75 as alternates. How's I-20 heading out toward Lithonia, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 20 eastbound, you're slow leaving I-285, getting past Panola Road, and westbound rides seeing you free and clear of delays leaving Stonecrest getting to I-285. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Some things get better with age, but not your home siding and windows. If your house is showing its age and needs a facelift, it's only going to get worse. New siding and windows are the perfect fix. Dave Baker here for my siding and window experts, Nelson Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson Exteriors, you choose the window that's right for your home and budget from many top-rated manufacturers like Andersen and MI. And Nelson is a licensed and insured James Hardie Elite Preferred Siding contractor. For unmatched quality and craftsmanship, Google Nelson Exteriors.
EMC Security.
Our video doorbells are handy for seeing when packages are delivered or when the kids come home or even checking to see who is at the door. But what about when something more serious happens, like a break-in or fire? That's when you'd need a monitored security system. At EMC Security, we've been protecting Georgians for almost 30 years. Still locally owned, still no contracts, and still offering monitoring from just $16.95 a month.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
Exciting news for homeowners out there. This is Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. My team and I are now proud partners with the iconic real estate brand, The Agency. As we launch the Atlanta market, we now have multiple offices covering Metro Atlanta. What this means for you as a home buyer or seller is that you will now have access to the agency's global resources. In this changing market, it is essential to hire the most experienced agency to represent you. And if you're a seller, you'll get the agency's proprietary marketing, which brings you more buyers, more offers, and ultimately sell your home for more money. My team and I are here for you as your real estate experts. In the meantime, we have all your answers about real estate every Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on WSB. And you can always reach out to me at InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, now partners with the Agency Atlanta.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan Atlanta, 191 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Dial # law. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 6:30. I'm Veronica Waters. News this half hour is brought to you by the Lloyd Advisory Group. WSB's top local story. Some good news is developing after this afternoon's crash of a truck and train in South Fulton. We know that 2 people on each vehicle were hurt when a train hit a tractor trailer which was hauling a dump truck. Delmas Williams tells Channel 2 Action News he saw the entire thing.
When that train was coming, I don't know if they heard or not. You know, sometimes they had the windows up. They might not have heard, but they were trying to get caught that track. Man, that train hit them and took them down that track about a quarter mile.
South Fulton police just let us know moments ago that the train conductor and engineer have been checked out at the hospital and will be okay. One person in the truck, though, is said to have serious injuries while the other is listed in critical condition. Stay with WSB for continuing details as the story develops. The cause remains under investigation. A strike by sanitation workers at Republic Services could lead to some trash pickup delays in Alpharetta. City Administrator Chris Lagerbloom tells WSB residents should still put their trash bins on the curb.
If for some reason it's not gotten to, we just ask people to leave it until they can get to it.
Lagerbloom says they've been working with Republic on some contingency plans to continue trash collection while Teamsters members are on strike for better wages and contract terms. Some Georgia lawmakers are calling for President Trump to reconsider the possible expansion of his current travel ban.
The administration says they are considering adding another 36 countries to the travel restrictions due to concerns about a lack of effective screening procedures. But members of the legislature's Georgia Africa Caucus say this would hurt the economy and people living in countries with dire humanitarian concerns. State Representative El-Mahdi Holly says when we put bans like this in place,
we undermine the time-honored principles of justice and fairness upon which
which our nation stands.
The lawmakers have sent Secretary of State Rubio a letter urging him not to implement the ban. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
In DeKalb County, the district attorney Sherry Boston says a jury has convicted a Stockbridge teenager who shot and killed another teen outside a restaurant. 18-year-old Jakari Childs is getting life with the possibility of parole plus 6 years in the death of 16-year-old Jacob Johnson. Both of them, in fact, were 16 years old at the time. Johnson was the best friend of Childs' ex-girlfriend and worked with her at a Lithonia IHOP where Childs came looking for her. The DA says Childs opened fire in the parking lot when the girl asked him to leave, shooting Johnson, who was standing beside her.
This case was tragic in so many ways. One young man has lost his life, and the other will spend decades in prison.
The jury convicted Childs, and the judge sentenced him this week. Cobb County law enforcement officials say they are ready as they prepare to welcome baseball fans for the 2025 All-Star Game at Truist Park. Cobb County Public Safety Director Mike Register says,
I think that we are prepared. Our priority is for everyone to have a very safe and enjoyable All-Star Game.
Register says they've been meeting sometimes twice a week with federal partners ahead of the game. Fans can expect an increased law enforcement presence around the stadium come Tuesday. A childhood disease once thought to have been practically eliminated in the United States is now at its highest level since 1992.
The Atlanta-based CDC now reports nearly 1,300 confirmed measles cases in 38 states, including here in Georgia, where we've had 6 confirmed cases so far. Matt Ferrari, director of the Center for Infectious Disease Dynamics at Penn State, on why we're seeing so many cases.
There's really only one cause of an increase in measles cases, and that's an erosion of measles vaccination.
And a majority of the current cases, according to the CDC, are among those who are unvaccinated. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
A former U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer based in the Virgin Islands is sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for smuggling cocaine into Atlanta. 45-year-old Ivan Van Beverhout boarded a commercial flight from St. Thomas to Atlanta back in 2020 with 16 bricks of cocaine in his 2 carry-ons. He was sniffed out by a canine officer after he landed at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. More people over the age of 65 are renters now compared to 10 years ago. That's according to a new study from rental market research company Point2 Homes. The number of renters 65 and older jumped almost 30%. The increase is even higher here in Atlanta, more than 46%. It's 6:34. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather, giving you 100% of their capabilities from the WSB Traffic Center. Alex Williams kicking off our triple team traffic.
Yeah, that's right, Veronica. Need your attention if you're trying to make your way 85 southbound through East Point toward the airport right now. Just single file in the left lane. You had all lanes blocked. 85 southbound, Virginia Avenue, exit 73. Trying to clear up a crash there. You're jammed up from Cleveland Avenue. Use Highway 29 or I-75 southbound as an alternate. And just found a new stall downtown, 75-85 northbound at Freedom Parkway. That's in the right lane, keeping the ride slow back to University Avenue. What's it looking like on I-85 toward Gwinnett County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's a little slow, 85 northbound starting at Chamblee-Tucker Road, getting to Beaver Ruin Road, and then a slight tap of the brakes getting into Swanee towards I-985 from the Corey Carrier Traffic Center. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
And now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies for this evening with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm moving through. Staying hot and humid with temperatures around 80 degrees as the sun goes down. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered pop-up storms, high near 90. Friday and Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered afternoon storms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Drying out on Sunday, but heating up through the afternoon, high 92.
Right now, it's 88 degrees in Dallas, 87 degrees in Douglasville, and 92 degrees on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 6:36. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Skeeters biting you? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
Only inches separate you from the heavy rain trying to infiltrate your home. If your old roof is leaking, think of Findlay First for a remarkable roof replacement. Schedule a free roof analysis. FindlayRoofing.com.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation-proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation can take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I have to say, because I've switched it away from 24-hour news in the last couple of days, because I just can't take part in this exploitation of the good people of Texas that's going on with the 24-hour news networks. And so I just went over one channel over on this TBS, and they just play The Big Bang Theory all day long. And I've never seen this show in my life. A lot more bedroom scenes than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of just before and just after bedroom scenes.
Now with Penny?
Nerds.
I don't
Nerds
know.
can have sex too, Eric.
No way.
That's what that show.
Didn't you see
taught
Revenge
us.
of the Nerds?
Sir, you can't do it. You're
I
a nerd.
You know, I have a very large member, and I'm really into chicks.
Okay, but they have to be into you as well.
They are.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe
I
me?
don't believe
I'll
that
show
you-
you some pictures on my phone.
Oh, no, I don't need to see that.
Well, you don't believe me. I can prove it.
No, I don't want to see that.
Well, you don't see me. You see her.
Okay. Whoa.
She didn't know.
Oh, so you're not in the picture.
Well, some of me is.
There's the Big Bang Theory audience for us, just helping us out. That way,
I can't even do an impression of it because I don't know what they sound
that
like.
way the audience.
Bazinga.
You see, when you play that, the way the audience knows when the punchline
Yes.
just happened. They can. Oh, now I laugh.
Thanks,
Okay.
Chuck Lorre.
Yes, guy made a lot of money.
Sure did.
Pissed off Charlie Sheen.
Who was the guy who plays Sheldon? Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons. Yeah, his career didn't really go anywhere after.
I mean, he made plenty of money doing that show, so who cares? But one of
Yeah.
the best interviews I ever saw was him and Craig Ferguson. They just riffed and went back and forth and kept up with each other, and it was really fun to watch.
I miss Craig Ferguson. You know, the thing about Craig Ferguson, I thought he had the greatest late night show. I didn't discover it until maybe 2 years before he ended it. I just thought, whatever, another show. And then one Thanksgiving, I was in a hotel room. We were in Western New York, and we come back from the whatever, and we're in the hotel room, and I just happened to watch it, and I couldn't believe how great it was. Here's the thing about Craig Ferguson. He doesn't really entertain me a whole lot in other areas. But on that show, like the thing that I disliked, not even disliked, like the monologue was like the least thing for me. It was the play between him and the guy that played the skeleton, the improv. He had a skeleton that was his sidekick.
Oh God!
And it was just brilliant. And I caught it at the very end. And the stuff that I saw was the best late night television I've ever seen. And I caught it at the very end. And now you bring it up, and I have to say that I do miss it. The reason. First, and some of it was for show, but the first thing that he would do as soon as the guests sat down is he would pick up his notes, tear them up, throw them in the waste, and then start having a conversation. And
some people like that.
Yeah.
Most probably didn't.
And he would do weird things to put the guest off. Like he would have these, you could request a couple of different things. I remember one of them was a harmonica thing. Or something else, or you could request that I have a pipe during the whole interview or whatever. But it was just a really, really, I really enjoyed it. And you bringing it up, I hadn't thought about him in a while. Now you've bumped me out.
Was he the boss on Drew Carey before the talk show?
He was on Drew Carey. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he was on that.
And what's he done since
But I've
the
seen,
show?
well, I mean, he's done a lot of stuff, and he's an interesting, I saw a really good interview with him. I find him to be a very interesting person. But I saw some of his stand-up, and it wasn't awful, but it wasn't that show. You know.
So did he just
It
get
was
out of it?
unique.
He got out of it altogether.
I don't think the ratings were going swimmingly.
They needed James Corden, so.
James Corden.
I mean, he sadly came in and
I
got
said Corden.
ratings.
Corden or Gordon?
James Corden.
Corden. Okay. What's that again?
Corden. I was gonna say, and sadly, Corden came in and got the ratings.
Well,
because that's what people want.
Yeah, because he had that karaoke thing, and that became viral, and that was the new thing with these late night shows. You don't really care about the people who are watching then. You just want to create things that the next day go viral.
Clippable content.
Clippable content. That's what a lot of people don't remember. This period of time, what's his face? Colbert was not doing well after Letterman, and at CBS they thought about switching them.
Yep.
Because Corden had hit the karaoke thing, and the best thing that ever happened to Colbert was that Trump got elected that first time, because you can do a lot with if you are the resistance show, you may only be getting 3.5 million people, but they all come to your show, and that saved his show because they very seriously thought, because Colbert was trying in the beginning to create these sort of viral moments. They were trying, and it just wasn't working. And
He also
Corden-
shifted to straight comedy and got away from that character he was playing on the Colbert
which is what
Report.
people thought knew him from, you know.
Some people I know actually thought he was a real conservative.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, because people don't get it.
No, people that work in our industry.
Why have you been in this industry long enough? You're just finding out that there's a lot of morons?
Like a morning show host would say, no, he's a conservative. And I would say, no, he's not. That's a character he's playing. No. Okay.
All right.
Well, it's a thing with conservatives is they hate celebrities because most celebrities don't like them. But they go on and on about how celebrities are useless. But then if they get one that they think is on their side, oh
Hulk
my
Hogan.
goodness. Yeah, I like
Bill Maher's the big one. Bill Maher will always swing over
twice
on
a year.
on like
Twice
two
a
issues,
year,
exactly,
they'll say
yeah.
something, and all of a sudden on Fox News, they'll have some sort of weird respect for what Maher is saying. Well, you don't like anything else he's saying. Why is because he's agreeing with you.
Yeah, Laura Ingraham will love him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And she'll turn on him.
Yeah, she still got a show.
I think so.
Oh my
Still at
God.
night.
The other night I was how was I watching to see the turnover? Because I never really watched these 24-hour news networks, but I saw like Lara Trump's show started. Like she's on the weekends on Fox, I think. I believe she has her
Or they're
own
getting
show.
her ready for that losing Senate run she's going to have in
Is that what I
North
don't know.
Carolina.
But I just thought, man, this is so weird.
Yeah, the show is
My View.
Yeah.
It's called My View with Lara Trump. Yes,
so-
I care about your view.
Well, I mean, I'm like, well, it's so weird that
Does she open it up with a song like Kelly Clarkson?
she should. And then I remember, like, she makes these crappy songs, you know, praising. I mean, good intentions, I guess. Like, she made one. No, she made one that was for first responders. Okay, good intentions. Song's terrible.
Hero.
Is that the name of it? Hero.
She's got Anything Is Possible. Colors Don't
Let's-
Run.
Hold on.
I get a little bit of it right here. If you want to
Okay,
hear
wait.
it.
I want to hear anything. I want to hear anything is possible. I know we got like the last one, but I want to hear anything is possible. George, can you play that? To me, sounds like a feel good crappy song.
It's probably her intro to the show.
So
Auto-tune.
Riding on the Pegasus. Tell her everything's gonna be
Who'd pay for that?
Nobody pays for it. They
Somebody
give
does.
us- It's on their streaming.
in this hurricane
Whoa.
Oh wow.
You still
Oh.
gotta spray.
All right, I was gonna get it. Yeah, auto tune cannot help this one. Thank you for recognizing that was a laugh line. We have a good audience. You know,
That's
they-
wild.
they
You know
get
you
it.
can't sing, right?
Of
If you
course.
listen back to that, you have to say, I don't have it.
Anything is possible.
It's not even close.
When you
Some people are
have-
there, they can kind of sing.
When you have money and power, you've been so far away from the real world. Look at Bezos and Sanchez and that wedding, and they thought it was wonderful, and everybody's like, "You people are the worst." You know, when's the last time they had a conversation with anybody normal? Anybody?
Well, as you know, they don't
Where they
have
weren't the
any
boss.
deep conversations, as evidence when what's his name landed from William Shatner when he really wanted to get philosophical and deep and have a conversation.
yay, we did it!
Bezos couldn't have it. Huh?
Yeah, they're just it's really interesting. You have to have some sort of savant intelligence to become a billionaire. like this guy who owns the Panthers, who figured out a way to make $1 billion on
Tepper,
Wall
right?
Street.
David Tepper?
By doing this or that. But they're not very intelligent. If you really look at these, watch an interview with Sam Altman and these people they're weird people. I don't mean to take on the Democrat line or whatever, so I won't use the word weird. I'll say is they've got billions of dollars, so they feel like they should have an effect on the world. But just because they have billions of dollars, any more than an actor or an athlete who's really, really good at one thing, it doesn't make them smart. It certainly doesn't make them self-aware.
Hey, Zuckerberg.
No one who's self-aware would traipse around like Elon or Mark Zuckerberg, who's basically turning Hawaii into his own personal fortress.
Zuckerberg has those cool glasses now, though.
Yeah, this would wake a lot of people up. Apparently, a lot of these billionaires are preppers. What do they know? That should wake you up. What do they know is coming down the line? Alex Williams says there's a crash on 85 in East Point.
And Eric, you were bringing the good luck because as we speak, the flashing lights are pulling away. They just towed away these cars that was in 2 right lanes for quite a while. 85 southbound, Virginia Avenue, exit 73. Everything is back open, so those brake lights leaving Cleveland Avenue will start to improve. Heads up in northern Cherokee County. I think it's some wires down on 575 below Airport Drive. 1 lane blocked in each direction. Also starting to rain up there, so use caution on the wet pavement. How are things looking through downtown Atlanta, Kobe Dawkins?
Slow but improving. 75-85 northbound, seeing the brake lights start before University Ave, making your way past Peachtree, Pine Street, and southbound rides. Those delays starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. And this report is sponsored by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The FIFA Club World Cup Championship is this Sunday, July 13th at MetLife Stadium. One thing's clear, you won't want to miss this epic matchup. Get your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets. FIFA Club World Cup, the world is watching. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
More local news.
While seen at a Covington Walmart after an employee.
More traffic.
85 south out of Brookhaven, crowded beginning past Claremont.
More weather.
The Sunnyside community may have been impacted by this tornado.
Atlanta's morning news. Tomorrow morning
This
at 5.
is a complicated, controversial subject.
Wake up with 95.5 WSB. How Atlanta starts its day.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Don't be fooled by the big box brands. Window Comfort's exclusive window line is custom built for Georgia weather, installed by in-house pros and guaranteed never to fog. With factory direct pricing, it's affordable for everyone. Go to windowcomfort.com for real quality that lasts.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Oh, there it goes again. I think old Rusty's had her last ride.
Aw, I think you're right. It's time to let her go. But what if she could still do some good?
What do you mean?
Well, we can donate it to the Tommy Novus Center.
Really?
They take old cars, running or not, and use the proceeds to help people with disabilities find jobs.
So instead of Rusty just sitting in the driveway, she could help someone who needs a job?
Exactly. And donating is easy. They pick it up for free.
That's a great idea.
Donate your vehicle to Tommy Novus Center and help people with disabilities gain meaningful employment. Visit TommyNovusCenter.org to donate.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Heavy rain, high winds, huge hail. Yes, Atlanta, we're in storm season. It's Mark Aram here. You might be faced with a roof repair or a replacement. Do not gamble with any contractor, and there are hundreds of roofers with little to no experience. I want you to trust the experts at Dr. Roof. Trusted name in roofing for over 35 years and backed by their industry-leading warranties. Dr. Roof doesn't cut corners. They're the best at protecting your biggest investment. Dr. Roof, done right, guaranteed.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports? The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Greg Russ. We only have a few minutes left in the show. And if you looked in if there was just one story from Studio B1 that you were going to deliver, what would that story be?
Actor Brian Cox is really pushing the limits. I guess being almost 80, he doesn't care anymore, but he's hitting out against woke nonsense after he's been criticized for losing his temper in rehearsals.
Yeah, I've watched this. Now it's easy to go, these woke people, and apparently he's known on set for getting very, very angry, but he's mad at himself because he's not getting it to the point. And so now he's been acting the same way his whole career. And so now he's got younger cast members and the HR, we don't need to be around this and all that. And his point is that in the creative arts, that wakes things up. Like he tells he saw a fight between Peter O'Toole and somebody else back. He's like, this is the way that it kind of gets electricity going. It's two different schools. But overall, he's like, I'm not into this. What, you're snitching on me? Because apparently he's kind of difficult to work with. Although it's not about being method, because he hates that, because he was
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. That's my favorite. He doesn't like method actors, and he says something along the lines of, you could just show up and act.
Yeah, because the other guy, the guy who played his son in Succession, what's that actor's name?
Jeremy Strong.
Yeah, I forget all the names, but
Jeremy's the method, yes.
Yeah, and he was method, and after Succession was over, Brian Cox was like, I never want to work with that guy again. I just can't handle that. Just come to work and do your job. It doesn't have to be a lifestyle. So he's not one of those guys, but he believes that when things are kind of dying on the set and during rehearsals, you gotta inject some. So he'll walk up to an actor and just like put him up against a wall or something. I don't know.
I can't imagine him picking up Kieran Culkin during Succession and be like,
all I know is that maybe people are right about this, but if this were the ethic in the 60s and 70s, you would not have any great Stanley Kubrick films to watch because he was a nightmare to work with. All right. That doesn't make it right. I'm just telling you, it'd be a world without those movies. Wasn't really a punchline, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, that music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up, get the hell out. You know us, we do what we're told. We're good people. Shelley Winter is up next, who said one of the funniest things to me. I hope he uses the line tonight during his show about the little mishap with the Liberian president of the White House today. But he's going to have a great show like he always does. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. But until then, continue on your journey. Don't piss off the genie.
656 School Day Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Still a few brake lights, 285 eastbound between Dunwoody and Dorville. A lot of that trying to ramp onto 85 north to head up to Norcross. And downtown still slow, 75 or 85 southbound leaving Georgia 400, 75 85 south